Did you do it on both of them? Click over on it. You know how to do it? Okay.
Living in filth and squalor. This don't have to be our life. This life is given to us by them low-life niggas you call black leaders. One West, UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK. Won't bear every motherfucking day. UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK. Won't bear every motherfucking day. I don't fuck with the fake, never been on a date. But they niggas okay, I don't eat 2K. I eat the steak, she can eat great. Feel like an 8, don't need no weights. UPK bitch at the bar, hey. Get a bitch wetter than the lake, hey. Open my eye, catch a case. I break a bitch nigga face, hey. Almost the only way, hey. All eyes on UPK, hey. Take out, hey. That's what they say. Now we don't play. Jump on my spray, beat him with the blade. And a nigga on the fucking page. Inside way, hey. We know we drop like this, like one dead bitch. We hot like this, like UPK get the fucking block like this. Like that's what the Lord can't stop this shit. Those ain't no bitch up in sight. All my niggas prepared to die. World War III, word on fire. That's waiting on the Lord to crack the sky. And them champs ain't that. Tell me that's them black dumb UPK sound on west. Motherfucking UPK. Or better every motherfucking day. UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK. Or better every motherfucking day. I'm gonna set your shit off on my black man. Black beat, but I get my foot in the back end. Better hope that I don't get orders from captains to take down, be determined for action. You don't really know what I gotta say. Everyone you can take, you in the goddamn way. I was born in a letter field, in a battlefield. I'll be ready for this war shit every day. World War III, would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees. I can make them beg for you, but no mercy for me. You didn't get love to the birds and the bees and the trees. So what the fuck do you mean? The only way we can have peace is to hear you scream. I'm pleased and the brothers of the king. The stories of the book of the black God at the time I took the sweet train. I was shot, my shot, the king of our kings, ruler of all things. Sailors will be bring the treasures of Babylon, destroy everything. Towards the means on a whole nother level you ain't never seen. When you became 144, you know what I mean. One flesh, nigga. So-called Christian pastors and deacons. That's why your church is failing. Because you've been lying. Oh, here's why he's bringing up the truth. That's why I read that again. Hey, the temple of God and idols. What agreement? The temple of the Bible. What agreement is the Bible and the temple has to do with the day of Christmas? What does that agree with that? How do they even make sense to come together?
Shalom, Israel. What's going on? The I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General. And our mission is to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who they are according to the Bible, and that the almost messed up earlier. And the oppressor, and the oppressor is the devil. The Bible speaks of. You understand? In today's class, it's going to be salvation is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You hear what I'm saying? Only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Salvation is only for you niggers, you wetbacks, and you savages. That's who salvation is only for. Nobody else can get this. Nobody else is worthy of this. Nobody else deserves this. You understand? And with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the scriptures. Go ahead.
Brought out was super heavy because I had a discussion with a certain brother, concerning salvation.
Right.
And he's talking about salvation for all the heathens. I'm like, they living in their salvation right now.
Right.
This is, their salvation.
Right.
It's part of their salvation.
Not being murdered by the goddamn cops.
Right.
It's their salvation.
Yeah, all of this is their kingdom. They've been on top, living lavish.
Right. And the thing is this, like, why come goddamn Christians and all these other, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially the Christians, they refuse to, I mean, even though they see what's going on, they just refuse to not be, like, they can't picture a kingdom without the white man.
Right.
Without none of these heathen nations.
Right.
Especially the white man. Now, listen, they can go without the Chinese man. They can go without the Arab man, the African man. But just give him his white man.
Right.
That's the Christian.
So, yeah.
Just give him his white man.
It's just so we can, take the kingdom and turn it right back over to them.
Right.
That's what they really want to
right.
do. Real.
Right.
Take the kingdom, turn it right back over to who had it here.
Right. Like the Christians' idea of heaven is everybody's walking on clouds and living there with angel wings and stuff like that. And let's just say that was true. You get what I'm saying? And to be saying that it's only for black people, why would you want to let the oppressor in there? Why would you want the white man to be in there?
Right.
First thing he's going to do is start selling angel wings.
Right.
Taking out real estate on clouds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
If it was the way the Christian imagined it in his mind, the white man will find a way to ruin it.
Right. And we'd be in the projects.
Right, we be in the ghetto.
Right. Yeah. We won't even, our clouds would be all dark.
Yeah, we get the storm clouds.
Yeah, They'd have the fluffy white green clouds.
Right. We get the storm clouds, the real thin white clouds that's transparent. You can damn near see through.
It look like smoke.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you gotta learn, man. Like you can't keep loving this oppressor that way, man. But we gonna pull scriptures to prove that salvation is only for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You get what I'm saying? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel, and we can prove that with scriptures. The book of Deuteronomy describes in great detail what's going on with the Lord's chosen people. And it's only one group of people on planet Earth that fits that description, and that would be the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right now, you got the tribe of I.S.U.P.K, man, the Mexicans, the so-called Mexicans. They kids are in cages still to this day over there on the border. They got their kids locked up in cages with aluminum foil covers. You get what I'm saying? Like they have absolutely nobody to help them. There's nobody who can help them but the Lord. That's how you know that's the Lord's chosen people.
Right.
Only person that can pull them out of that situation is the Lord. And the only reason the Lord ain't done it yet is because they ain't praying to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They praying to the Mother Mary.
Yeah, they still got the
go ahead.
They still got the little cross in their neck, kissing them, all of that.
Right.
They're still doing that.
Right. They refuse to give credit to a black man named Jesus Christ.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Once they over there, the reason the Lord ain't delivered them out of that place is because they over there still worshiping white Jesus. They are worshiping the hell out of white Jesus. Listen, I'm gonna be real. Just think about if it was you. Just think about if you was doing all these great things, right? And you had the ability to do all these great things, but nobody wanted to give you any credit for it, right?
Right.
Would you do it?
Right.
Would you do it? Hell no, you wouldn't. If you had $1 and can help somebody, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, and they want to give Donald Trump the credit for it, but it's your money. Would you continue to give him the money?
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. You're like, I ain't giving you nothing. Go ask Donald Trump for help, right? That's what the Lord is like. The Lord is like, all right, well, tell that white boy come save you. Have that white boy come do it. You refuse to follow me, follow that false God. Have that false God come save you.
Right. It's a scripture for that too. What you just said right now. You said, when they kind of, well, I think it's in Judges, I think.
Judges.
Right. When it said, the Lord was like, tell, your gods to come and save you. You know what I'm saying? That's what the message that the prophet delivered to the people.
Right. Sounds about right, man. That's how I would be.
Right.
They say that we made in this likeness. I know that's how I would be.
Right.
You ain't about to just disrespect me and think that I'm gonna just keep coming through like, you know, Captain Save-A-Ho, for lack of better terms. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to give you tough love, and that's what the Lord is doing.
You know what's so crazy about it too?
Go ahead.
When we was on them slave ships, we had them little voodoo dolls,
Right,
and all of that.
right. Cars out of wood and stuff.
Right.
Holding it all tight and clenching it like it was gonna save you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Refuse to give any credit. Listen,
Yeah, that's rough.
that's the world nowadays. They refuse to give any credit to any black man. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
If Christ was a basketball player, he get all the goddamn credit in the world. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You know who else goes in on that? You know who else is a participant in not giving us any credit to?
Who's that?
Our own women.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You get what I'm saying? Like they enjoy it too. Like, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. It is some sisters out there. You get what I'm saying? That understands the brainwashing that has been done.
Yeah.
It is there's some sisters out there that do understand the brainwashing that has been done. Like that knows that you know what I'm saying, there's no such thing as a strong, independent black woman. You get what I'm saying? Like she knows that it takes a goddamn father in the household to get the household together. She knows that a black man is very, very important to the stability of the black nation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And refuses to give up her black man.
Right.
And refuses to give up her black man.
Right.
You got something you want to bring up?
Right. And those women right there are very, very rare. You know, they're very, even the ones that even know things still side with the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of it. It takes a real strong sister to, you know what I'm saying, to conquer that wave right there.
Right.
It takes a real strong sister, and those sisters are very, very few.
Here's what I think. Here's what I believe. I believe that there's more than what we think there is. The problem is, of course, we don't know about them is because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's shutting the hell up. You get what I'm saying? Like, because these sisters ain't supposed to be on the front line and be seen.
Right. Yeah,
and be trying to be worshipped as some type of goddamn deity. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They want to be Greek gods and stuff, or Freya and all that, god of fertility and all that bull crap. The Mother Earth and all that, Egypt swallows you crap. They ain't with that. You get what I'm saying? They know what their job is.
Right.
Their job is to operate from the shadows.
Right. But in the comparison to the ones that are the contrary,
right,
they're very few in comparison.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the reason for this, and the reason for that is, I believe, is this. And it's a luck in my language, but I have to say it like this, so you can understand. And this is, this is biblical what I'm about to say. You know what I'm saying? But a loudmouth bitch is always gonna get more attention.
Right. And here's the thing. And then what you said right there is super powerful. You know why? For the simple fact that women are always, that's one battle that they have to fight. That's one of the hardest battles they got to fight in themselves.
Learning to shut up.
Yeah, and not wanting to draw attention to themselves.
Right.
Hell, look at Facebook, Instagram, look at all the social media outlets. It's filled up with female vanity.
Man, listen, I was just in Chicago, right? I was in Chicago Sunday, I want to say. And I ended up stopping by the school in Chicago with nobody there. But we took a couple of pictures and stuff. I'm going to post them later. But we went to Harold's Chicken. Went to the one, I guess it would be like kind of downtown Chicago. I don't really know my way around like that.
Right.
But I'm guessing it's like the one downtown Chicago.
Right.
So we in there, right, waiting on our order. And it's three chicks, right? Three chicks. One of them's a heathen, of course. No, I think, a devil. Heathen, same thing. So one of them's a devil, right? But she's hanging out with two. They look like Israelites, but you can never tell nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
They might have been.
Yeah, they might have been.
I
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the one was definitely a devil, right? So some dude goes up and tries to holler at him, right? And it's funny though, this goes to show you that I'm old, man. Like I didn't realize I was this damn old until I heard their conversation. That nigga said to them chicks, he said, "What's your Instagram? Let me get your Instagram."
Good night.
I said, "Instagram? What the hell?"
Wow.
Like, let me get your Instagram. Like,
that's simping 101 right there.
But who says that?
Right.
Back in my day, it used to be, let me get your number. Let me get them goddamn digits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This nigga said, let me get your Instagram.
Right. He offered himself up as a fan. Not as a man, but a fan. Good night.
That nigga said, let me get your Instagram. You know what I'm saying? It then got offended when he got shut down. She didn't even want him as a fan. She shut the nigga down.
Wow. And then, but here's the thing: for women being like that, a lot of the times it be a lot of our fault because we be simping and everything. You know what I'm saying? Now that was a simp thing that he asked of her.
Yeah, of course it was.
Not even direct contact, right? So I mean, think about how many Instagram followers she probably got. He wanted to be one in the pile. Right?
That nigga said, "Let me get your Instagram." Wow. Instagram got these bitches thinking that they real models now. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like it's crazy.
And then, man, if I will, and those are the same bras that be wanting to go to Dubai. You know what I'm saying? So they can get duty and peed on. That's why they call Dubai Dubai. Because them rich Saudis over there is getting black women over there and peeing and dutying on, doing all kind of, you know what I'm saying, disgusting stuff to them. And then they come back to America like they balling, though. You know, clean all the duty and pee off of them, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, all of a sudden, like they, you know, right. Like they a prize for us. But to them, they're such trash, and they pay them to humiliate them.
And that's the thing, though. What you said is such a heavy point, man. Because, like, we don't look at ourselves as being a catch for anybody.
Right.
Like the black man, only time he holds himself in high esteem is when he's a goddamn athlete, and you know, and in his mind he's worth millions of dollars.
Right.
Like that's the only time he holds himself in high esteem.
Right.
Other than that, he doesn't really hold himself in high esteem. If there's no money involved, he doesn't have any work.
Right.
And he's programmed to think that because the world has programmed everybody else to think that about the black man.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? The black man has no value besides his athletic ability, what he can provide for other nations, not even his own nation. They don't give a damn about him providing for his own nation. What he can do for other nations. His value is his value to most women, to most blacks, Hispanics, and Indian women, is perceived by how the white man and the other nations value him.
Right.
And then that's his worth.
Right. Exactly. Just like a slave.
Right.
Yeah, just like a slave.
Just like a slave, man.
You know?
And the glorious thing, no black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, is that the Lord has chosen you already, man. Which means that your value is already through the goddamn roof. And there is nothing on this earth can compare to you. Nothing on this earth can compare to your value. The Lord has valued you above everything on planet Earth, man. All these other goddamn heathen nations, man. I want to pull the scripture real quick, man. Get to these scriptures. I'm going into Deuteronomy 7:6. We're going to start at Deuteronomy 7:6. Deuteronomy 7:6. And this is what we got to understand, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. This is how the Lord sees us, man. This is what the Lord thinks about us. Let's get it. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Now, let's just say we didn't know the definition of holy, right? Let's just say that we used the Christian definition of holy, right? Because the Christian definition of holy isn't separate. It's special. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, holy really means to be separate. That's what makes you special. You goddamn separate. You can't be special and then you walk. How can you be special but you're equal with everybody?
Right.
What makes you special if you're equal with everybody?
Right.
Go ahead.
And here's the funny thing, because in their heart of hearts, when they're among each other, they don't even believe that. They don't even believe. They believe that they're more special than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, based on the deacon, he think he's more special than the usher.
Right.
You know, they all think they're more special than one another.
Right.
So they bound under this whole idea of all of them, everybody being special and equal, but in reality, in their heart of hearts, they don't believe that.
Yeah.
That's why they screw another man.
They only believe that when it comes to the white man. because they value the white man above everything else. Like when it comes to niggas, yeah, I'm better than that nigga, no doubt.
Right.
I'm better than that nigga, no doubt. This is the mindset of a Christian.
Right.
That nigga, their boss, I'm better than him.
Right.
But me and you are the same. In fact, you're just a little bit better than me, but we're all human.
Right.
Like, that's how they perceive it. That's how they process it in their mind,
Right.
man. And the Christian church will never break this scripture down the way the I.S.U.P.K can break it down.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to get back to the scripture real quick. Unless you have something else you want
Yeah, I
to
was
point out.
going to make one more point.
Go ahead.
And you'll see the manifestation of this on a job.
Right.
Because nobody will be more cutthroat and backstabbing than a Christian.
That's their
They
job.
will try to knock you off the board. For real. They don't care whether they will try to make you lose your job. Even if because sometimes, a lot of the times, even if you ain't got a position that threatens their position,
Right.
they'll still do it.
Yeah, just because you the only other nigga there, there's two niggas, you and them. And he got to
Right.
prove that he better than you. I'm better than this nigga right here, boss.
Right. And then trying to slander you real quick, you know what I'm saying? To make everybody, you know what I'm saying, look at you through a bad light. Next thing you know, you on the path to your way out of that job. That's what Christians do. Christians are mean. They're the most selfish people. I mean, goddamn. I mean, think about it for a second. I was walking across the street one time, right? All right. You know how they're supposed to stop at one of the lines.
Right.
Now, this Christian woman, of course, you know she's a Christian. You can just look at it all over and tell it.
Listen, anything that's not UPK is Christian.
Right. Yeah, but this woman was obviously just church, Kirk Franklin Christian.
Right.
She pulls out in front of that, not even caring that I'm trying to walk across the street.
But God loves everybody, though.
Right. You see what I'm saying? You know, when they look at it, God loves everybody except for black men.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right.
And black women, because they hate each other too. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
They do. They do. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole philosophy of Christianity. That's why the I.S.U.P.K is so goddamn important, man. And why it's, you know, it's so, like, the work that we do and why it's so vital that we have the school in every goddamn major city, man.
Right.
So we can teach these goddamn Christian women and Christian men how to truly love themselves and how to come back to following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God,
Right.
man. And understand what holy really means. And understand how to live these scriptures instead of just reading them and repeating them and not following them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's what a Christian follows no rules or regulations whatsoever.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
They'll follow the rules of, you know, the law of the land,
Right.
only because of out of fear of what will happen to them
Right.
by the God, the white man.
Right. Right. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, if you was to ask a Christian pastor to break this down, he couldn't.
No.
Because in his eyes, God loves everybody, right?
Right.
So when it comes to this part right here, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth,
Right.
how can a Christian pastor break that
Yeah,
down?
this is what he'll do. Watch how slick he'll be. He'll say, well, God did choose the Jewish people.
And then when you ask him who are the Jews,
Well, then now it's a problem now. You know what I'm saying? And when you say that we are that, then he'll say it don't matter.
mm-hmm.
He'll say, well, you know, it don't matter. You know, that doesn't matter. And he'll get mad, you know what I'm saying, all of that. And then what he'll do also, too, is he'll send out a signal to label you among everybody that's inside that congregation for them not to listen to you.
Right. And here's the funny part. What you're saying is such a heavy thing because I got a buddy, right? This is my nigga, man. Like when I was in the world, this was my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like me, him, and Mawat, we used to roll tough. You know what I'm saying? There's about 9 of us all together. But out of that 9, there was probably about 4 of us that always clicked up. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And us 3 was part of that group. You know what I'm saying? With my nigga, Fat Folks. You know what I'm saying? Big Mike. And we used to always hang together. So my nigga AK, he's a hardcore Christian now. And it's funny though because he sees the hypocrisy. Ever
Right.
since I became UPK and I started telling him, like, what about this in the Christian church? What about that in the Christian church? Look what all these Christians is doing. He used to try to defend it. you can't no more. Like he agrees with everything that I say. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I give him an E for effort because the way that he lives his life is, you know what I'm saying, he's hardcore with it. Even though he's a Christian, like he really lives like a UPK nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like I be asking him questions and stuff just to pick him apart. Like one time I asked him, okay, you know what I'm saying, like you turning the other chicken out, and he's like, man, I ain't turning the other chicken nothing. Like somebody threatened me or my family, I'm gonna bust their head. And then he looked at me, he's like, that wasn't very Christian, was it? He's like, well, shit, I don't care. I'm serious. I'm gonna defend myself. I'm like, that's what we practice. We don't go out looking for trouble, but we will defend ourselves.
Right.
All this nonviolence and all that stuff, that's meant to program us not to fight against the oppressor.
Right.
Nonviolence towards the oppressor, but you can be as violent as you want to towards your brother.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the philosophy of Christianity. Go ahead.
And that's heavy what you just talked about right there too, because if you think not to fight the oppressor, not to to do anything against the oppressor and everything, not to defend yourself against the oppressor,
right?
You'll take it out on your brothers.
Whoever's closest to you.
Did that. Yeah,
right.
We did it. We were doing that way back in like the 60s and everything. Right. I mean, think about this for a second. Like back in like the 60s, back when, you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of brothers didn't have guns.
Right.
When you have the old men that they'll have these knives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they will gut the hell out of another black man at one of them juke joints. Stuff like a lot of people died in those juke joints and them bars from back in the day.
Right.
You know, think about it. All the oppression, you know what I'm saying?
That they're dealing with on the regular.
Yeah, you can't do nothing against who you're really actually mad at. You can't do nothing with him.
So you take it out on your neighbor.
All right. So that, you take it out on that same brother, you know what I'm saying? You know, at the juke joint.
Right.
A lot of people died in those juke joints. My granddaddy used to own one.
No saying Christ, man.
You know, a lot of them, you know, that's what them older brothers back in the day was known for doing. They was known for gutting you like a fish. You know, the same thing with like a lot of older, like Cuban brothers. They, you know what I'm saying? They be on that too. You know, they'll stab somebody up in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? You know. But that's just, you know, the oppression when you can't do nothing against somebody that's doing that to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And what you're saying is a heavy point. I mean, this is proven facts. They've done psychology tests on this stuff, and they know this is true. Prime example, like I'll use a school shooter for example, the oppressor. When he's getting bullied in school, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
9 times out of 10, he goes home that same energy out on his little brothers and his little sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To eventually, then when his parents stop him from doing that, what other outlet does he have? Now he's feeling so oppressed and so compelled. The difference between his spirit and our spirit is that in his spirit, he knows that he's free. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can't oppress an oppressor because he's going to snap and he's going to kill everybody. Right. And that's how they end up shooting up the goddamn schools.
Right.
Because they feel like oppressed. All right, you won't let me bully somebody, even though I'm getting bullied. Now everybody has to die.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Now everybody has to die. The bully has to die. All of the other victims, everybody. Anybody who's ever looked at me wrong, laughed at me, everybody has to die now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he has no outlet to get that anger out of him anymore. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he's not used to being oppressed. You can't oppress an oppressor.
Right.
You can't oppress an oppressor.
Right.
He's going to freak out.
Right.
He's going to freak out. Go ahead.
Because oppression is for the Negroes, the way he see it.
It's for the slaves.
I done heard a devil say before, they treating me like a nigger.
Man, it was a Chinese devil that went to court. It was on Facebook. Commander GEN.YAHANNA, I brought it out on the Black Watch too. And this was a while ago. It was a goddamn Moabite that put blackface on and went to court. And the judge was like, why the hell did you come in my courtroom like that? And that Moabite said, since you're going to treat me like a nigger, might as well look like one. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he felt like he was being railroaded on his trial, which goes to show you that every other nation on the face of this goddamn planet knows that we are being treated unjust.
Right.
Knows that we are being treated unfairly, that we don't have a real opportunity to do anything to be prosperous and thrive in this society. But nobody does a goddamn thing about it.
Right.
They all sit back and watch us get oppressed. And even our own do it. Because we have the mindset, as long as it ain't happening to me and mine. not understanding that every single solitary black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is you and yours. Like, we don't look at it through the minds. We look at it through the eyes of the niggas that I know personally and I care for personally.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because we've been so programmed not to have love for a goddamn stranger. Only time you hear like it's good talk. You say it all the time when you go to church. Yeah, man, you're supposed to love your neighbor. You're supposed to do charity for a stranger. They bring up that charity scripture and all that,
Right.
but they don't follow it. They don't live it. They don't do it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's just talk. It's
Right.
just talk, man. And them people that's being oppressed like that, them people that get stepped over all the goddamn time. Like, there was one picture that was circling around Facebook. It had a black dude. He was asleep, like literally in the middle of the goddamn sidewalk, right next to a devil restaurant. The devils are sitting back there eating, having the time of their goddamn life, and this brother just laying there on the ground, destroyed and starving. And then, hey, listen, it didn't phase them not once.
Right.
They never once looked over there. Nobody bought them nothing to eat. Nobody gave them no change. Nobody did anything. They stepped over them and kept going.
Right.
Stepped over them to get to where they needed to be in that restaurant. You get what I'm saying? But the glory for that brother is this, man. Even though it's tough right now, man, the Lord has chosen that brother, man. Only thing that brother got to do is follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's it. Follow these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man, and you will get all that back, man. You will have the opportunity to step over your enemies. You get what I'm saying? I want to get some more in the scripture. I lost my train of thought what I was saying earlier about my little nigga AK. It'll come back to me when I get these scriptures. I'm going to take this from the top and I'm going to go down. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. That's now, it reminded me real quick if I could. Now, when I was talking to my little nigga, right? Like, because one thing that he likes to say, and like I said, he got out of that Christian church. I'm trying to get him to come into the school. But, like, it's funny, though, because he says that, like, I guess because he wants to love white people still. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it boils down to. He really, like, he knows the white man is the devil. But, when we talking and all of that, and, every time, and this is just what all Christians do, what I found out. Every single solitary Christian does this. I say something about the white man, and guess who they say something about? The black man.
Right.
Every time. I say the white man is the devil, they say, well, some niggas is devils too.
Right. And you know what? Also, too, they show you what team they really playing on when they do that. Some people is lost and they up under, lost in the sauce or whatever. And when you start bringing up things, you know what I'm saying?
To me, it's just a justification for them to try to continue to love the white man. That's all it is. That's all it is.
What side they on?
Right.
Just
trying to find a justification to love the white man. That's all it is, man. Because, okay, once more, I've never heard, it doesn't matter what crime is committed by white people whatsoever. It doesn't matter what crime, how heinous it is. Like, and the white people have committed some of the most heinous crimes on the face of the goddamn planet.
Right.
White people eat other people. We had the Jeffrey Dahmers and the Ted Bundys. Like, these almost cussed. These devils was eating people.
Right.
Eating people.
Yes.
They was in them motherfucker like this.
Right.
This nigga good. You get what I'm saying? Like, they was eating people. And never once did I hear anybody say anything about them brothers, about Salaki, not them brothers, but about them devils. Like they blamed it on them having mental issues.
Right.
They blamed it on mental issues. They blamed it on upbringing. They blamed it on Stockholm. They blamed it on every goddamn thing, except the fact that it was just simply white on white crime.
Right.
White people never speak about white on white crime. It don't matter how many school shootings have happened. You want me to tell you why you haven't heard anything about any school shootings? Because the schools are shut down and white people ain't getting the opportunity to go shoot it up.
Right, exactly. Ain't nobody in there, right?
Right. White people can't shoot up the schools. If they could shoot up a goddamn online class, they would.
Right.
Go ahead.
And then here's another thing too. Let me tell you what they hide. They hide Eastern Europe.
Right.
We're talking about about 6 countries where they've been in civil war for few hundred years.
All the history. Listen, like you said, the Civil War. No one ever said, "What about white on white crime?"
Right.
When the British was fighting America, that was white on white.
Right.
Nobody never said, "What about white on white crime?"
What they doing now? The Serbs and the, you know what I'm saying? These are white people.
Right. Nobody
Banging
never
it out.
says, "What about white on white crime?"
Right.
Well, like I said, a school shooter can go and shoot up a goddamn high school, a middle school, a kindergarten class. They've done all of this. Nobody never said anything about white on white crime.
Right.
Like when they was talking about taking the guns, nobody was like, "It ain't the guns, it's white on white. It's white on white crime. That's all it is."
Right.
What about white on white crime? All right, we got to take the guns, but what about white on white crime? We got to stop that for like that never comes out of their mouth.
Right.
But every time somebody says something that's got to do with building the plight of the black man, here comes some goddamn coons that want to, like, it's always a nigga that said too.
Right. Yeah. They
It's always a goddamn nigga that said, "What about black on black crime?" Like,
Right.
that's the first thing that flies out of his mouth. What about black? Yeah, I know white people is killing us, but what about black on black crime? Like, why is that the first thing that comes out of your mouth? Go
Right.
ahead.
Hey, can you tell me? Tell me one other nationality that uses that same type
Nobody.
of logic? No one
Nobody.
does. Right.
Chinese kill Chinese, Arabs
Yeah.
kill Arabs, whites
Right.
kill white, Africans kill Africans. Africans kill Africans a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, hell, think about what was going on here with the damn Italians and all of that.
Right.
John Gotti never killed a black person.
Right.
He was killing. What was he killing? He was killing all white
Mafiosos,
people.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about white on white crime? Italian on
Right.
Italian. Nobody brings that up. That is the true definition. That goes to show you a slave right there.
Right.
That goes to show you a true slave. Whenever you hear them say, "What about black on black crime?" Whoever says that is a true slave.
Right.
Whoever says that is a true goddamn slave.
Right.
We have to stop black on black crime. No, we have to stop white on black crime. Let's start there.
Right.
Let's start there. Let's stop white on black crime, and I guarantee you the rest will smooth itself out. It will smooth itself out.
Right.
Once we disassociate from these goddamn other nations, everything else will smooth itself out. The reason there's black on black crime is because the white man is oppressing us.
Right.
It's
You
that
oppress,
simple.
Right. Right. And through that, you oppress any people. What are they going to do? They're going to do everything is going to turn internal,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to start murking each other. Like it was a time where the Irish and the Italians and all of
Yeah,
them.
it's a movie, The Gangs of New York.
Yeah, there we go.
The Gangs of New York. Nobody
Yeah.
said, "What about Italian on Italian crime? What about white on white crime?"
Yeah,
In
Irish
fact,
on Irish crime.
They stepped in and they gave all them people jobs and opportunities to flourish. Whereas our jobs and our opportunities to flourish.
Right.
Like all them people had the opportunity to become business owners. There has
Right.
never been one step in human in all the history of America when has black people got the opportunity by the government to become business owners. They
Right.
did it for a whole nation of goddamn illegal immigrants who was Italians and Irish and all of
Right.
them.
Right.
They all had the opportunity to become business owners. They were all given land. They were all given education. They were all given all these things, and they were all taught by their own people.
Right.
Like you give us education, but we talk about the same people who's killing us.
Right. And you know what? We'll
Go ahead.
also too. Every nationality that's ever came here started out against each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every one of them. They was. You know what I'm saying? You have. So they. What is the first thing that they did? What they do when coming to America is form gangs.
Right.
And what do? They go against one another. You know what I'm saying? And for supremacy and all of that stuff.
Right.
You know, that's what they do.
Right. And the reason, once more, the reason why we fall into such despair. Oh shit! I didn't even know that thing. It fell. Salakia. The reason we fall in such despair, the reason why we suffer the way that we suffer is because we refuse to believe that we are the Lord's chosen people. Like once we start to believe that, once we start to live that, it changes everything about our lives. It changes everything, man. I want to get into some more scriptures real quick. Deuteronomy 7:7. Oh shit, I never even finished my statement. Real quick, if I could. So we was talking, like I said, a Christian can't break down. I'm gonna read this scripture real quick. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Who is the special people unto him, and who is the other people above, and who is the rest of the people above upon the rest of the earth? That's what I need a Christian pastor to explain. He can't explain it. And then when I talk to my buddy about this, right, he says this. This is what he says. Like the reason he, doesn't subscribe to the concept of being a Hebrew Israelite is because of the way that we live in, right? And I've tried to tell him, I'm like, look, I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, because when you look at blacks in America now, blacks in America are Americanized. These niggas can't wait for the 4th of July. You hear me? These niggas got their firecrackers ready. You know what I'm saying? That's all I hear in my neighborhood is firecrackers galore. And then I know the people that's lighting off the firecrackers was the same people downtown in the midst of that filth talking about Black Lives Matter. They don't give a goddamn about no Black lives.
No.
They didn't give a damn about George Floyd. They was down there to be seen.
Right.
They was down there just to be down there. It was down there for the fun of it. That was fun to them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That was fun to them. Let me tell you something. This is war. And war is anything but fun. That's how you know that they ain't no goddamn warriors and they some goddamn cowards. This is fun to them. This ain't fun to me. You know what I'm saying? What I do, I don't listen. What I do, I don't do because I want to do it. I do it because I have to do it. It's a big difference.
Right.
They went down there because they wanted to. We went down there because we had to.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Right. Nobody wants to go to war. You go to war because you have to.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
You want peace.
Right.
The Bible considers us, talks about us being a peaceful people.
Right. Listen, man, I don't do what I do because I want to. I don't want to do this. I want to be at home chilling in some AC, feet kicked up, chilling.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. But what do I have to do? I have to do the work of the Lord. I have to. How else are we going to get the kingdom? You can't trust a goddamn Christian to get it.
Right.
A Christian ain't about to do this work. These other goddamn cowards ain't about to get out here and do this work. There's only one group of people on the face of planet Earth that's capable of doing this work, and that's the I.S.U.P.K of the Commander GEN.YAHANNA. We are the only people who have been ordained to do this work. We have no choice but to do it. If we try to walk away from this lifestyle, man, Lord knows we fall up under all type of evil deeds. You know what I'm saying? Because we have been chosen. And you can't walk away from something that you was chosen to do. I do this because I was chosen. Point blank, period. I was chosen that day that I came through when I was slaving up there at Kroger's.
Right.
That's the day I was chosen for this. You get what I'm saying? I didn't choose it, it chose me. You know what I'm saying? It chose me.
That's true. That's a scripture on that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Christ said, I didn't, you didn't choose me, I chose you.
Right. And that's the truth, man. I was chosen for this, man, and I have to do it. I have to do it. There's nobody else. And here, I'm of the mindset like this. If not the I.S.U.P.K, then who? If not us, then who? Nobody else can do this. Nobody else would want to do this. Nobody else is capable of doing this. Right. Everybody else is some goddamn cowards, man. Right. And I'm gonna let that be the intro into what I'm about to say real quick, and then I'm gonna move on because I'm a talker. So my Christian friend, he was saying that the so-called Jewish man has more claim to actually being called a real Jew than blacks in America, right? And his reasoning for this is because that they follow closer to what it is to truly be an Israelite than us. And I told him this: you've never seen the I.S.U.P.K, then, if that's what you believe. You've never seen what we do. You never came to a Passover. You've never came to none of our high holidays. You never watched none of our goddamn classes. Go ahead.
When does biting the foreskin off a little baby's penis closer to following the Most High?
Christians look right over that.
Yeah, exactly.
They look right over that. They look right over little kid blowjobs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They look right over that.
Look at all the other things that they do. And here's the
thing. They listen. He said it like they ain't over there sinning.
Right.
Like they ain't eating pork.
Exactly what they're doing.
Like they ain't eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Like they over there raping 12-year-old girls.
Right.
That's what the hell they doing.
They're getting melanoma more than anyone on the earth, more than even average white people. over in Israel. So they're getting it right in Israel.
Right.
Israel has the highest rate of melanoma, right, on the face of the planet. They have the highest rate. Look it up. I'm serious. They got the highest rate of melanoma, which is the skin cancer.
Right.
The reason for that, they was keeping the laws. Now remember, it was also a deal too, where the Canaanites was in the land, right? And what was they getting? They was getting leprosy, which that's what we call one of the versions of melanoma today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When the Lord said, remember, it's a law in the scripture when it said, when you enter a house, if you see the leprous spots on the wall, to remove the stones out.
Right.
Right, and cast them into a place, an unclean place. So think about it for a second. Even it was going on like that with them too, because the Canaanites, of course, though they was dark, they was getting vitiligo.
Right.
And they were burning in the spots that were white.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that stuff would spread all throughout the body and all of that. You know, so that's also the reason why they catching it like that over there. Because
Right.
the Amalekites was also in the land during the time of Moses.
Right.
That's why they ran out against Moses and them in the valley of Rephaim.
Right.
That's the reason why.
And what you're dropping is so goddamn heavy, man. It's heavy. You get what I'm saying? Like, why are they over there suffering under all them afflictions?
Right.
Number one, they not the chosen people of the Lord.
Exactly.
Number two, they some goddamn filthy sinners.
Right.
To steal somebody's identity is a goddamn theft. Like that's a sin. They
Right.
stole our identity. That's a sin in itself. Thou shalt not steal.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If they follow the Most High commandments, then they know that they're not the Lord's chosen people. And what they should be doing is letting the world know that, hey, we are the fake Jews.
Right.
Listen, anybody within the sound of my voice, you come across a so-called Jewish man, just do one thing. Ask them what tribe he's from.
Yeah. And you know what? What they'll do?
Just ask them what tribe he's from.
Right. Let me check this out. What they'll do? Even the rabbis will go, well, I think I must be Levi. That's what they'll do. You think you must be Levi, right?
So you descend from the islands, huh?
Right. That's what they'll do. They'll be like, well, I think
you from Haiti around this mother.
Right. Exactly.
You Haitian? You got Haitian in your blood? You ain't no goddamn Levi.
Right. Right. Exactly. You know, that's because because he's a rabbi, he think he's operating the priesthood. How in the hell are they? And here's a funny thing, what you said earlier about them saying they're keeping more of the laws and all of that, so that makes them close to Israelites. That don't even make any damn sense right there.
But here's what my thing is. Like, here's what my argument is. Okay, that's your argument. So they over there, they keeping the laws. Why? Here's what my argument is. Are they so they're able to do that? Let's just say they was doing it. The reason they're able to do it is because they're not being influenced by another nation. You get what I'm saying? Nobody is over there telling them how to live. Like, we over here and we have absolutely nothing. Like, we are forced into this lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? Right. Christianity was forced on us. Like, people forget about that.
Right.
Like, that is just something that has totally left the history books. And when you talk to most people in the world, and they try to argue for Christianity and all of that, like, and you ask them, like, what was the religion of your forefathers? You know how they counter that now? They counter that by saying, I don't know and I don't care. That's how they counter it. That's what this new group of millennials, however you say it, I just like to call them the coward generation, the soft generation. This new coward, soft-ass generation, that's their excuse for everything. You know what I'm saying? They don't know and they don't care. They have no respect for the elders. They have no respect for traditions. They have no respect for the days of old.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
They tell you out their own mouth. They don't care. I wasn't no goddamn slave. I don't care.
Right.
Like, how much of a coward you sound like?
Right.
But here's the funny part. You don't care about that history, right? But if I was to tell you that you was a billionaire, right? And that somewhere down that line that money got passed to you, you would definitely care then, wouldn't you?
No, right.
You would be doing everything in your power to find that history and trace that history.
Even a thousandaire.
Right. You would be doing everything in your power to trace that history.
Right.
But here's the funny part. You are that, man. That's exactly what you have in the Most High. That's exactly what you have with this covenant.
Right.
You're a billionaire. You need to look at this covenant like you being the richest man on planet Earth, like the richest woman on planet Earth. If you had $1 billion, goddammit, you wouldn't let nobody else try to come claim it.
Right.
If you hit the lotto, if you hit the Powerball for however much it is right now, you wouldn't let nobody else try to come claim it if they didn't have a winning ticket. If they didn't have the winning ticket like you had, you got the ticket right here in your hand. This is the proof right here.
Right.
This is the proof. This right here proves that I am the winner. You wouldn't let nobody else come and try to claim it like this. I have nothing, but it's me.
Right.
I'm the guy. Even though he has the proof right here, don't worry about that. I'm the guy. Choose me.
Right.
Like you wouldn't allow that. So why do you do it with the covenant? Go ahead.
Right. Niggas went to war over a crack money spot.
Right.
Niggas went to war over that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right. We'll shoot up a nigga mama house.
All right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? All about you selling on the spot.
Kidnapped his little brother. Niggas did all kind of messed up stuff.
Right.
You know?
Right. You're absolutely right, man. And then when it comes to the following the law, statutes, and commandments, and serving the Lord and having the Lord's covenant, like you don't want that. That's nothing to you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and my thing was this, like I was saying, for the Christian, like, how can you say that when you know that all these pagan holidays are forced upon us? Christianity was forced upon us.
Right.
Like, you want me to tell you why? When you go to a funeral, you see all this goddamn singing and dancing. Like, my thing is this: why is the singing and dancing at a funeral? Why is all the music playing? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like y'all got all this music playing. Like it goes from a goddamn funeral to a party.
Right.
Why is that? Because they don't even know the history behind that. The reason that is because it is. It's because the slave master used siblings on the regular, right? He used to kill your siblings on the regular. He would kill your mother, your sister, your brother, your father, your daughter, your son. He would kill them, right? And guess what you weren't allowed to do? You weren't allowed to be sad.
Right.
You weren't allowed to be sad. Because if you start feeling sad over the loss of your sibling, you're like, I can't believe he's dead. And then once he's dead, you start to say, well, how did this happen? Why is he dead? And then that thought pops in your head, well, the slave master killed him.
Right.
And then that sadness turns to what? Turns to anger. That anger turns to what? Vengeance.
Right.
And then that vengeance is coupled by I want justice.
Right.
And you're not allowed to have that. You're not allowed to sit back and be sad and cry and be filled with anger. You had to sing and dance.
Right.
You know, that's what you had to do. That's why the funerals are the way they are now.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially like in places like New Orleans.
Right.
You know, when somebody dies, they got the trumpets, all of that.
Right.
You know, that's crazy right there. I ain't never
Straight.
seen a bigger display of that than, you know what I'm saying?
Straight slave.
Right.
Straight slave. Because you ain't allowed to have anger. You're not allowed to have anger. The reason you seen so many white people down here at these last protests with George Floyd is because you're not allowed to have anger. And if you are, then white people take that anger and they direct it towards something totally different. You went from being angry at the police to just being angry at the city. You was angry at Walmart.
Right.
Walmart didn't do shit to you. Target didn't do shit to you. You get what I'm saying? None of the places that they burned down did nothing to them. Who was it? It was the police. But none of that anger was kindled towards them. I'm not condoning violence or none of that. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But let me just tell you, when I was in the world and I was angry, guess what I did? I took that anger out on the person I was mad at. It didn't get steered away to another direction. I'm not about to be mad at the white man and then somehow end up being mad at Officer Tarak. It doesn't work like that. Only way that I would be mad at Officer Tarak is if he's in the way trying to protect the white man that I'm trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way. Go ahead.
But one thing I can say though, with them doing all of that, it hurt the economy of America.
Right.
It hurt because hell, downtown Louisville is still boarded up.
Listen, yeah, you're right. And that's the only thing good about it. You get what I'm saying? And one thing that you black people got to stop listening to is letting these white people tell you that you destroy your own goddamn community. You ain't destroying shit that's yours. You don't have nothing.
Right.
You own nothing. That's not your community. That's their community. And the way that they trick you into stop doing it is by telling you it's yours.
Right.
If it's yours, show me where your business is at.
Right.
I'll wait. Show me the black owned and operated things. And here's the funny part. For the black spots that did get tore up, hey, sorry for you. But you know what my thing is? Next time, don't open up a so-called black business in a white area. Don't do it.
Right.
Open up a black business in a black area. If your business was here in the hood, it would have been protected. Nobody did nothing in the hood.
Right.
Go
right.
ahead.
And also, too, you got to understand, business is about race.
Right.
That's one thing that a lot of people don't understand.
Right.
You open up a chicken shack somewhere, you know, brothers should look out for people that they know don't have no money. They should do it. It's not, business is not about getting rich. It's about providing your services for your community. That's what business is really about. It's not about getting rich, but we tricked into thinking the business is about getting rich because white people have all the wealth. And they get rich off their business.
But here's the funny part, though. You will get rich if you do exactly what you said. Take care of your community.
All right.
You take care of your community gonna take care of you.
Exactly. And that's the way things used to be back in the day.
I mean, and the messed up part is, black people understand that philosophy when it comes to drugs.
Yeah.
When you're a drug lord out here, like you pushing some weight, you know, you look out for niggas, that money gonna come right back to you.
Right,
exactly. Like I'll use myself for an example. I had a plug, and I'm telling you, whatever I would go buy, he would throw me. I go buy a pound, he'd throw me a pound. Once I cash out on everything, where you think I'm going? You think I'm going to somebody else, or you think I'm going to the man that just showed me love?
Right, right.
It's the same principle if you own a business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody come into your little corner store and they spend. It ain't nothing when they ring up stuff. You see them ringing this stuff up, boom, 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 and they be like, "Well, I can't afford this. Let me put that back." And you be like, "Yeah, no sweat. Throw it in the bag."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Be able to
cash out. Hey man, see you later. Tell your moms and them I said hi.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember a time. I was like 5 years old. You know, you send me to the store and everything at 5 years old. You know, get like a jug of milk, some bread, something like that.
Right.
And I would, you know, take them. You know, remember them banana and cherry and apple blocks and all of them.
Right.
I'd grab a handful of those and put it up on there, and wouldn't even get charged for it.
Right. Listen, man, I remember it was a little variety store, little candy store that we used to walk from when we used to walk to when we walked from school. And she made the prices so low, like even if you only had 50 cents, you left with something.
Right.
And you left with candy, like not just no 1, 2, 3 pieces.
Right.
You left with a bag full of stuff.
Right.
Like penny candy was literally a penny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't no 5 cents or 3 cents. It was literally a penny. So if you got 50 cents, you're going to spend a quarter on some penny candy. You know what I'm saying? And spend another quarter on some cherries. And the cherries usually cost like 50 cents to $1, but she don't give them to you.
Right.
Because you come in her goddamn store every day.
Or a penny cookie.
Yeah, exactly.
You get 25 penny candy, 25 penny cookies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
and if
man.
you come in with $1, you can get it good. You're going to get you a nice old pop.
Listen, man. Them days need to come back, man.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And here's the thing. Like here's the thing. Yeah, because I've witnessed it too. Now, just because you know what I'm saying, own a black business, it was a black meat shop on 38th Street. I used to go to it all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? And I would go to it and I would, you know, I was a regular. I started going there on a regular. Right. So when I would go there and I would spend money, he would show me love. He would look out for me because he knew I was coming in there to spend that money. Right. You get what I'm saying? But if it's your first time in this store or whatever, you got to build that relationship. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, see, what happened was people thinking because you black, you're supposed to get that look out. You get what I'm saying? And then you get offended, like, at the prices, but you don't say nothing to the white man when he's price gouging you.
Right.
But like, so you know, it's a meat shop, but he's trying to sell everything to make sure he can meet everybody convenience, right? So like a gallon of milk in there was like maybe like $4. Yeah, it's a little high compared to what you used to paying at Walmart. But you got to realize Walmart is a multi-trillion-dollar business, not even billion. They're making trillions at this point. There's a Walmart everywhere around the goddamn world. You get what I'm saying? Right. Walmart is everywhere.
And the milk's probably more lower quality, probably.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you can go there and pay $1.50 to $2. It's me because milk is gonna be cheaper there. But here's the thing. So what? More money there. Buy that gallon of milk. And then the next time you come in, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be cheaper. You get what I'm saying? It's going to be cheaper. He has to make sure that he recoups his revenue too. You get what I'm saying? It's not always about, like you said, sometimes it's not about making a profit. Sometimes it's about just breaking even. It's about breaking even, but you're serving your people. And that's all he's trying to do is serve his people. He's not making a profit on the prices. He's breaking even. Let the man break even so he can continue to pay the devil for this goddamn spot that he has. He has to pay property tax, rent, all that too. You get what I'm saying? So we can't look at somebody to think just because they got a business popping that they're going to be able to look out at first. Help them grow their business. Help them become successful. And then they can look out.
But at the same time, I can kind of also see why a lot of black people don't trust black business also. I can kind of see that because of, experiences that I've been through myself also. Because a lot of the times, if they start prospering that, they start to take on the same philosophy as the white man.
Listen, you're right.
Then, I don't see
You're right.
that a lot.
I've seen it too. But at the same time, one thing that we can't do is just hold them accountable for the mess ups of other brothers. You get what I'm saying? And if that was the case, then I wouldn't be in the UPK.
Well, here's the thing. Well,
because somebody would have helped.
Really,
but here's the thing. Just think if everybody operated on that philosophy, there would be no ISUPK. You'd look, these niggas, look, like you remember what the UPK used to be, and then it was a split. Then it grew again. Then more niggas fell out. You get what I'm saying? Now we back stronger than ever. The reason we stronger than ever is because they didn't let one brother or brothers ruin it. They stayed with the format. They stayed with the plan, and that was the love and forgiveness. And that's what we gotta have. Because I get exactly what you're saying. I've seen it. I've seen them people, like I've seen black businesses relocate to white areas.
Right, exactly. That's what they do. And it's a scripture that says, charge them that are rich. That's a scripture that people always look over. And when they talk about rich, it don't mean, just a person that's just like super, he's doing better than the people in that neighborhood. And the scriptures say, charge them that are rich. That's where our problem is at. We don't do that.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
If we was to live that scripture, the number one people we should be charging is these goddamn Christian pastors.
Yeah, them too. But
these is the people who's really rich.
Yes, but then you got to look at, because a lot of the business owners are deacons and stuff like that too. It's not just the pastor; it's the deacons and all of them, the deacon board, and all of these different areas. You know what I'm saying? Inside the churches and everything.
Right.
When them that are rich, that they be not high-minded, and we haven't done that. Our people have failed to do that because we bow down even ourselves. We be like, well, be successful. And then, because we figure if we actually charge them, right? If we actually charge them, then everybody's going to look at us as being jealous of their success. We're scared of that. Black people are scared of that. Of somebody charging you with, somebody charging you with being jealous of a wealthier person's success. And we get humbled with that. That's where our problem is at a lot of the times.
I get exactly what you're saying. But once more, that's a Christian mindset. You get what I'm saying? Like what you're saying is a mindset.
Yes, and majority of black people.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I agree with you.
Yes.
I agree with you. Because I get what you're saying. Like prime example, when you look at people like Floyd Mayweather, I like to use him because he's one of the main people always flashing all his goddamn money, talking about how much money he got. And and now my thing is this. He's starting to talk about being an Israelite, right?
Right.
Where did he learn that from?
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. He's doing it because of the social upheaval that's going on now. He said not too long ago, when they asked him about what was going on in Flint, Michigan, because he's from Michigan himself.
He said, right? He don't give a damn.
Yeah, he said, what I care about them people, right? But now the social upheaval is there, and now Master's cracking the whip on their back. So now, of course, they coming out to be Israelites now to kill what's going on. That's what they're doing. They're trying to quench the fire here.
But once more, like you just said, we got to.
And you know what? Here's the thing: when Floyd Mayweather said that, what he said about I don't know them people. Nobody came against him. There wasn't no posts about that. There wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, F. Floyd Mayweather. There wasn't none of that going on. You know why? Because the people understood their role as a slave, you know what I'm saying? Bowed their heads down and said, he's successful. And if I say something about it, they just gonna say that I'm hating on his success. And I don't want that.
You know what? Well, damn it, I'm a hater. I'm hating on his success.
Yeah, you got damn right.
His success should be going towards the poor.
That's why the Apostle Paul said
he should be doing something for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians everywhere.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Listen, and the funny part is this: they try to charge us, and we don't have nowhere near that kind of money.
Yes.
But they try to charge us, right?
Right.
Like, and here's the thing: we are doing something. Everything that you see the I.S.U.P.K do, every single solitary goddamn thing that you see the I.S.U.P.K do, we do it out of our own pockets. It is very few and far in between that we can get anybody to donate anything to us.
Right.
Like the reason they do not like to donate to us, even though we are a nonprofit organization, even though that we have the same credentials as the so-called Christian church, the reason that they don't like to donate to us is because we uplift black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and we call a white man the devil.
Right.
You understand? They hate that. So they won't help us in any way, shape, or form. So when you see these food drives, when you see these clothing drives, when you see that, understand this. That is done clearly out of the pockets of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General.
Right.
Understand? We sacrifice what we have to make stuff like that happen. How dare you try to charge us? You ain't charging T.D. Jakes. I ain't seen him do shit.
No, he ain't
since
done a damn thing.
I ain't seen him ever do shit, period.
No.
But since this whole Corona thing, I really ain't seen him do nothing. I seen him take some pictures with a nice ass car. I see where people
little pictures and all. Him and two other pastors.
It was Kurt Franklin. I know one was Kurt Franklin, and I don't know who the other dude was. One had on some T.D. Jakes had on some skinny jeans. Kurt Franklin had on some skinny sweats.
Right. And this guy big as hell run around with damn skinny jeans.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Like this nigga, our age, wearing skinny jeans.
Right, full of gray.
Hey, he'd do anything for the oppressor's love.
Right.
Hey, I'm sorry, class.
They coming down though.
I know we got way off the scripture, so lock you. Y'all know better than to tune in for my class. You know I'm gonna be talking. Let's get back to these scriptures. Deuteronomy 7:7. Salakia. The Lord did not set The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye are more in number than any other people, than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, which is a heavy point. This scripture right here, I want to couple this scripture with the death tolls that's going on in America. You get what I'm saying? Because I hear a lot of argument. If you ever listen to these white people, like these news reporters, it's one bitch in particular, so lucky my language. Man, like I hate her with a passion. I want her for the kingdom. You get what I'm saying? I want to keep her alive for the kingdom. That, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna be my doorbell. So whenever you come into the kingdom, you just grab the whip and slap her back a couple of times. I hear her scream from my mansion. You know what I'm saying? Just like somebody at the door. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want to do her. You get what I'm saying? I can't remember her name, but she's some devil, man, and she be on Facebook and YouTube and on the news and stuff. Like, and she was putting out the news, right, and she was trying to say that white people are dying just as much as black people, right? When it comes to police brutality and cops killing black people and this and that, blah, this scoop. She's trying to say that white people are dying at a greater number than black people. And my argument against that is this: you're supposed to. You know why? Because you have the greater goddamn numbers.
Right. Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? If let's just say this. Let's just say it like this: if there's 50% of white people dying, right, and 50% of black people dying, the difference is this: Your 50% of your people is dying, 50% of our people is dying. The white people make up 80% of the population.
Right.
We make up 17% of the population. The numbers don't even out. If 50% of goddamn 80 is dying, right? That's 40%.
Right.
If 50% of 17% is dying, point something, 7.3, 0.1 type shit. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the numbers don't add up, is what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers don't add up. How can it add up? When we're just, like in this scripture right here, I'll read the scripture again to show you that we don't have the numbers. But the Lord never dealt with numbers anyway. So that's not the purpose of this scripture. The purpose of this scripture is to let you know that we are few in numbers and we are dying at a higher rate than all these other nations.
Right.
It says, the Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. That means that there's more devils than us. There's more Moabites. There's more Ammonites.
Yeah.
There's more Hamites. Listen, every other nation is deeper than us. You understand? Every other nation is deeper than us. Every other nation has economic power also. You get what I'm saying? You think it would be easier for us to do it, being that we're not as deep as everybody else, that we are fewer than everybody else. You think it would be easier, but it's harder because we want to be a part of every other goddamn nation but our own. Point blank, period. You got something you want to say?
That's so heavy right there, you know. And then also, too, think about it, you know, as quick as we start to multiply when we was first in Egypt, you know, and then to the time that we were led out of, you know,
right. Even
Egypt.
then, I didn't mean to cut you off, but even then we were still few in numbers. But they looked and said, man, these niggas is multiplying like rabbits.
Right.
Kill all the boys.
Right, exactly. That's what they were doing before we got out of there. They started, you know what I'm saying, just mass slaughtering us.
Right. Even to this day. That's why there's an abortion clinic in every goddamn prominent, dominant Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community.
Right.
But there's fertility clinics in all the devil's communities.
Yeah.
Like listen, they got the fertility clinic so deep in their community that now they altering the eggs. They making it so the white woman can have octuplets.
Yeah.
They doing the eye color, the hair color. They genetically altering everything about these little devil babies.
Right. And you know something's gonna go wrong with that.
Pretty soon they're gonna start making them come out with forearms like Goro and shit.
You know what? Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They have horse legs. You know what I'm saying? They have all of that. You know, horse legs and everything. But I believe something's gonna go drastically wrong with that.
Right. It is.
Those kids grow up. You know, they recently, not too long ago, start doing it. But when they first start doing it to now, some of those kids get ready to start to be adults.
Right.
Something's gonna be real wrong with them.
And something already wrong with them when they born natural. They already got them psychopathic, homicidal killers.
Right. So imagine now.
Now you genetically messing with their mind and stuff.
Right.
Now they really they're gonna be 2 years old raping people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
School shooters.
Raping animals and shit. That's what they do anyway. That's their nature.
It's gonna be a bunch of blonde hair, blue eyed school shooters. They gonna all be like, yeah,
like that goddamn rapper, that Eminem, the
right.
Slim Shady. You ever seen the video? The whole bunch of everybody looking just like that. That's exactly what they're gonna be like.
Yeah. And all of them gonna have similar characteristics.
Right.
Of that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get some more of these scriptures. Deuteronomy 7 and 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Listen, this is talking about when we was in Egypt, which he was breaking out just earlier.
Right.
You understand? This covenant that the Lord has given us has always been so. He will not forget it because of the oath that he swore. And I know this is an anomaly we have amongst each other is loyalty and dignity. You get what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that amongst each other. We don't have a sense of code, a sense of honor. And you know why? Because you follow the ways of the oppressor. The white man doesn't have any ethics with anything that he does. He will swear his allegiance to you. Here's how the white man operates. He will swear on his life to you. He will make an oath, get down on one knee, kiss your ring. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I swear, a field of loyalty. Let any man break it, let him be put to death, and die the most gruesome death there is to die. And then 2 minutes later, he's making that same pact with me to portray you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He will do that same thing. That's how he operates.
Right.
That is his spirit.
Right.
Anything that seeks to benefit him for that time being. Go ahead,
Right.
bring it up.
As a matter of fact, you know, it said like down in South America. I read like like a documentary back in the day, long before I came into the truth.
Right.
They said it was like 125 Spaniards that came down into like South.
Right.
They started with a small number, and they didn't get into a whole lot of the business of because the Gadites and all of them and all of the and all of the indigenous tribes are warring against each other over this and that, right?
Right.
But here's the thing: so they just sat back. They didn't go directly into war. They just sat back and waited.
And then start making deals.
Right? Yeah. They
Screwing
would come
everybody
to
over.
them and ask them, well, yeah, and then they would be like, "You should be king."
Right.
You know
Turning everybody against each
Right.
other.
Right.
You should be king. You should be king. No, you should be king.
Right.
I should be king. Wait, what? No, I meant you.
Right. Exactly.
That's how they would listen. That is the white man's spirit.
And they would all start warring against each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people think it. You know what I'm saying?
And the white man sitting back like Birdman. You know, the Birdman be doing his hands like this. That's how the white man sitting back doing, just watching us fight each other. Even now to this day, that's what he's doing.
And this put them in a position of chief advisor over them.
Right.
You see this?
Right.
They were gaining power not by fighting.
By making us fight against each other.
Right, exactly. They was banging against each other. They said, yeah, man, that group.
And the whole time we weakening our armies.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the time, and here's the funny part. All these devils that spread out through all these other tribes, they all working together.
Mm-hmm.
So all their armies is still gonna come together when it's time. Right. And they was just weakening us. So then when we weak, we too weak to even put our armies together. We done killed each other so much that when they put their armies together, they 10,000. Before, let's say it was 5 armies. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We all 50,000 apiece. You get what I'm saying? The white man, he got 5 armies, but he was only like 10,000 apiece. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We outnumbered them at the time, but we didn't murder each other so much that by the time that we realized what's going on and they pull their armies together like this, they like this, right?
Right.
We like this, and we put our armies together. This is all we got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bang against this.
Right. And then
we playing bloody knuckles like this.
Exactly. And then a lot of us will go fight with them against us.
Right. Not even for positions of power.
Right.
Like we not even chief advisors to them. We gonna be slave masters amongst our own people.
Right.
We gonna rule over our own people, keep our own people in check.
Right. And here's the thing too, because a lot of people just talk about, oh yeah, they used Judah against Gad because of the Buffalo Soldier. Yeah, that's true, but they also played us all against one another because at one time the Gadites they would send them out to hunt down slaves.
Right, and
Negro slaves.
They made laws that if Gad was caught with Judah,
it
was putting Gad to death.
Right, and they used Benjamin too.
Right, Gad didn't want no more problems. I mean, shit, the whole goddamn nation was never destroyed with smallpox. Mm-hmm. They used biological warfare on Gad. Gad was scared to death.
Right.
They said, man, these niggas might cough on us. And, Gad suffered corona before the shit was out.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, them goddamn heathens, you know what I'm saying, was coughing on Gad.
Right.
Gave them all type of cooties. You know what I'm saying?
On the blankets. And give hey, this is for you, a gift for you.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
He died behind the damn blanket. His whole damn family, neighbors and everything get wiped the hell out.
White man immune to it. He had been sleeping with his pigs and his cows since the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ever since Europe, the Dark Ages, they built up an immunity to it, to where they can have the blankets themselves. Accustomed to that.
Right.
They always did that. So they spread this corona. I certainly would not be surprised. I'm just keeping it real.
Right. Listen, white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Right.
It's a Lockian, but I mean it's just facts. You get what I'm saying? Like this is just facts, man. And until we realize this, man, we're gonna continue to die up under these people, man. Let me get back to the scriptures real quick. All right, I read this one already, Salakia. All right, so I'm sorry, I know I got off key with it, and you know what I'm saying? Got sidetracked talking a lot, but you know, that's just the naptown class, man. You know how I do. I wish there was people in the class so we can be more interactive, because I like to talk a lot. I like to hear a lot of questions. I like the stories. You know what I'm saying? Because all this is meaningful, especially when it comes to building our nation, man. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of our experiences are the same. Like, we've all been oppressed in America, man. I've never not met a man who wasn't oppressed like me if he's Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. It's very few and far in between. You get what I'm saying? Very few and far in between. I want to get the book of Psalms 141 and 19. Psalms 141 and 19. Psalms 141 and 19. Now, once more, this is to show you the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the only people who can receive the covenant. You get what I'm saying? I know a lot of the scriptures that we was bringing out and a lot of talk we've been doing with knowing that we got sidebar, but that's what this class is, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the covenant is only for you and you only. There is nobody else who can reap the rewards of your covenant. It is only for you, man. Quit trying to give your covenant to everybody. Quit trying to love these people. Quit trying to walk hand in hand with these people. Separate from these people. Serve the Most High God. Get your covenant. Get the kingdom. Rule over these people. It's as simple as that. Simple as ABC. A, follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? B, serve the Most High God. C, when the Most High God in Christ comes back, rule over these heathens. It's that simple. It's not hard. Quit making it harder than what it needs to be. You get what I'm saying? Psalms 141 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Let me ask you something. Why does it say praise ye the Lord at the end of that? Or as we would say, you know what I'm saying? Most High Christ. You know what I'm saying? Giving all respect to the Most High Christ. You get what I'm saying? Why would they say Most High Christ at the end of this? Why would they say that? Because you don't understand how lucky you are that the Lord has chosen you and only you. Like, nobody else falls under the scrutiny that you fall under. You get what I'm saying? Nobody else falls under the scrutiny that you fall under. That's why when white people can do whatever, right? They can do whatever. And it seems like they never get punished, right? Like, how many times have we seen them Ponzi schemes, right? Where they just finesse millions, like they just finesse millions and millions and millions of dollars from people.
Right.
And nothing ever happens to them.
Right.
They get a smack on the wrist. Look at Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart embezzled millions of dollars, right? Did a little bit of time in prison, came out, and went right back to doing the same shit that she was doing before she got locked up. Now she's on the TV show with Snoop Dogg.
Man, you know what? What you talking about right now, I done seen that on a smaller level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it not only does it happen on large levels of what you like what you're talking about, but it happens on a small level.
All the time.
Right. Because like when I worked at Denny's, you know, in Louisville, there was a devil there named John. John used to work at the Denny's here in Indiana. One of the Denny's here in Indiana. And he was notoriously known for stealing.
Right.
You know. So what did they do? Instead of firing him, they would send him to another Denny's.
Right.
He was a manager. He was in the management position. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They'll move him somewhere else. And then he'll steal from them. And they'll move him somewhere else.
just like a Catholic priest raping little kids.
Right. Right, exactly.
You was raping the company, they just moved him to another spot.
I noticed.
Catholic priest rape a little boy, they moved him to another church.
Right, I noticed the same thing in bars and strip clubs. It was the same layout. They'll have this certain woman, you know, which they very, very rarely ever hired a black. You know, I can count on one hand. I hung at the strip clubs for like 12 years. I can count on one hand how many black bartenders I've seen there.
Right.
But they would take them, they would be drug addicts, all of that stuff, you know, addicted to cocaine, all of that, and stealing from the drawer. And they would give them time, they'd be like, well, we got to let you go right now. You just clean yourself up and you can come back. That's what they do. And so what you're talking about with that Martha Stewart thing, and also they're like Bernie Madoff.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You know, that's another deal with that.
Right.
They do the same thing on a large scale, you know what I'm saying, and on the lower scales also.
Right.
They do the same thing because they look out for their own.
Listen, you're absolutely right. I remember, man, I worked at Old Navy. You know what I'm saying? In Naptown, there used to be an Old Navy in Circle Center Mall. Circle Center Mall used to be a black mall when it first opened up. It was all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Then slowly but surely they start transitioning it out so niggas wouldn't feel comfortable there. So now niggas don't. There's still niggas there, but you know them is the niggas that want to be white. So you don't really count them as traitors. But anyway, I worked at Old Navy, right? And that was like one of my first real jobs, man. I was still young, still had hope in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was still optimistic about a lot of things. So I worked there forever. Like, oh man, I was there so goddamn long, and I just let them slave me out because I didn't know what I know now.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They knew I didn't know. They took total advantage of me. I didn't have no father there to teach me. You know, my mother was, you know, Christian woman. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everything was just left up for me to just live and learn. And that's what I did. I lived and I learned. But anyway, I'm like 3-4 years into this job, right? You know what I'm saying? Never took a sick day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just a monster. I'm working this job, going to school full time. I'm doing it all, right? So anyway, we got this new supervisor in, like this new front end supervisor. His name's Jared. You know, some homo. To where he used to act like he was just so for the company. Somebody, like every black person came in, he just automatically knew they was stealing. You know what I'm saying? Follow them around the store, make them feel all uncomfortable and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just, it is some crazy stuff. But the whole time, I knew he was a druggie. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I knew he was a dope fiend. He never dealt with me directly, but I was selling to another cat that, you know what I'm saying? And he was telling me how they used to sit back and drink and get high together and stuff. So I knew everybody's business. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because white people love to tell you how messed up they get. Man, it was so messed up. I drank like 2 bottles of vodka and 10 beers and smoked like 10 joints. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
they love to tell you how crunk they get. You get what I'm saying? So I knew all their business and everything. So I already knew he was a dope fiend, right? So anyway, he's the man in charge of the money, right? He's closing this particular day. He counts my drawer down, right? So then he calls me over to walkie-talkie, right? He's like, come back here, right? So I go back there. He steps outside the office. He tells me, your drawer is $400 short. I laughed at him. I thought he was playing, right? He's like, no, I'm serious. Your drawer is $400 short. And then when I seen his face, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you're going to have to sign this paper saying that your drawer is short and this and that by this scoop. And we see what the company does. I got serious as hell. Like, I told him like this. I can't use the exact language I used, but I told him I'll try to clean it up as much as I can. I was like, I don't give a F what you talking about. You get what I'm saying? Just like that. I ain't signing X. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I said, you better recount that GD door. You know what I'm saying? You better recount that goddamn drawer. I said, that MF money ain't in my pocket, and you better find it. Just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You better find it.
Right.
And looked him dead in his eyes when I told him that.
That's
You know
why
what
he
I'm
kept
saying?
wanting to put you on the drawer. I've been through that too.
And then I mobbed off, right?
Right.
10 minutes later, he called me. Yeah, we found it.
Right.
And you know why he found it?
In his damn pocket.
It's in his pocket. Goddamn right
I
it was.
had that same thing.
And it's funny though, because everybody loved him and trusted him. And later on, he got exposed. Somebody set him up. Like, because the money kept coming up short in everybody else's drawer. So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even peep it at the time when he was asking about him. Like, have money ever came up short on his watch? I'm like, yeah, he tried to say my drawer was $400 short. I didn't think nothing of it. I told him that. But it's because everybody else's drawer was coming up short. This devil was stealing the whole time.
Right.
And they done fired 3 niggas thinking that it's a nigga. But it wasn't a nigga, it was a devil the whole time.
Right.
What was you about to say?
What happened with me, you know, I'm supposed to be back in the fry area. You know, but this woman, you know, kept trying to push me to work the window.
Right.
I was working at KFC Taco Bell in Louisville. She kept on trying to do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Kept on trying to find a way to get me to that window. All right. But the thing about it though, they had a camera like right there, right? And you know, at that time I was in my phase where I was collecting coins and everything, right?
Right.
Because remember when they start coming out with them different type of coins, you know, like they had like the 50-cent pieces, the dollar pieces, all of that stuff. Remember when they had that going on?
Right.
You know, what I would do is I would take $1 out of my pocket, flip it, put it on the camera.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people was paying you in those, you know what I'm saying, on the drawer. You know, so I would take that and I would put it in the drawer, you know, on camera, and take the $1 coin and put it in my pocket on the camera.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dollar for dollar, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But she was stealing, but she wasn't trying to hit it big like that.
Right.
She was trying to steal little by little.
Yeah, like $30 here.
Yeah, stuff like that. $15, $20, $30. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that goes to show you the different spirit and when niggas do dirt and when devils do dirt. When niggas do it, we try to do something enough that won't nobody really notice it.
Right.
When a devil do it, they go big or go home.
Yeah, she was a devil. She was a devil though. But the devil that did it with you, he was so confident though.
Right.
That's what messed him up. He was so confident and so cocky because he's been doing it for a long time.
Right.
And he's been getting away with it for so long.
Right.
So what do people do? They might start out $20, $25, $30. But then it goes up.
Right.
To where now he was so bold, he could get 400 out of your drawer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what was going on with that. But this woman, she was still blood sucking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was just blood sucking here and there. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. And what she was going to try and do was try to increase on me.
Right. You said she wasn't a vampire, she was a mosquito, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. She was a mosquito. You know what I'm saying? Turn the leech. You know what I'm saying? You know. Mosquito, turn tick, turn leech.
Right.
That's what
So she was just nickel and diming out your drawer.
Right. You know. You try to talk about my drawer coming up short and all of that, but the camera was right there. Right. So the camera could see every transaction that I made. And she tried to look back, and the people tried to look back at the camera and all of that.
They couldn't find nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, they couldn't. They go, what can they say?
Yeah,
I took the coin, shined it in the, you know what I'm saying, in the camera. You know what I'm saying? Took $1 out of my pocket, put it in the drawer, and took the coin and put it in my pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, what the hell can they say behind that? Dollar for dollar, right? But this heifer, you know what I'm saying, was stealing, and she kept trying to push me on the damn drawer so she could keep trying to, you know what I'm saying,
right,
use me as a scapegoat and all of that.
Listen, that's one thing that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have always been for everything. Even I use this Black Lives Matter movement for an example. The people who was tearing up the city and stealing everything was the goddamn devils. But they used the black people for an scapegoat.
Right.
The black people was the goddamn scapegoat for all of that. Even though you weren't the ones out there, we seen video of these so-called Antifa people paying young black kids to vandalize and tear stuff up. When you see somebody paying somebody to do some wicked stuff, how are you still blaming the people that did it instead of blaming the people that's paying the money? You get what I'm saying? You give a young 14-year-old black kid $500 to set some stuff on fire or to bust a window in the midst of a goddamn riot where everybody's already acting a fool. Why come he would do it? He's thinking I could do this and get away with it. You get what I'm saying? Like there was a page, the police put out a thing on Facebook, right? Where I forget what city it was, but they ran inside of Walmart, right? So they ran inside of Walmart and started stealing everything out of Walmart, right? But here's the funny part. It was like hundreds of pictures on there, right? And the crazy part is, I damn near went through all them pictures, right? It's damn near like 170 pictures on there. I went through a lot of them pictures. A lot of them. I want them to say I went through like 100 of them, right?
Right.
Out of them, a lot of pictures I went through, I think I seen like 2 white people. When we know for a fact that the white people are the main ones doing this, right?
Right.
You trying to tell me that out of everybody that went inside this Walmart, out of 170 people, you only came up with 2 white people? And everybody else was black people, and they encouraging the snitching. If you know who these people are, call this number. You know who these people are, blah 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 blah. How that feel? I'm like, man, that is just some wicked stuff, man. The white man is truly the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Like he's using the cameras for hunting now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here's the funny part. Like I talk to a lot of Christians. This is one particular Christian at my slavery, right? This nigga always talks about, well, black people need to step it up. When something happens to black people, they need to go ahead and tell what happened and this and that non-snitching stuff and this and that, plus this group, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, man, what the hell is you talking about? I'm like, black people are the kings of snitching. What is the hell is you talking about? I asked him this. Like, is he talking about, like, black people don't tell on other black people? I'm like, yes, the hell they do.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do all the time.
Like, where do you think these slave coups that got stopped, the slave revolts that got stopped, how do you think they got stopped? They got stopped by another black person telling on another black person.
Look at, shit. It ain't even got to be a crime. Look at your job. Look at a person's job.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. When such and such slacking off, I couldn't find them for a whole 20 minutes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You take a rap and break all the time. Yeah, they was out there, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, that show be me. Listen, that show be me at the slavery. Them niggas cry every time I go to the bathroom. I'll be in the bathroom on my phone. I'll just be sitting on the floor on my phone. I ain't gonna lie, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing about it. If you see other people on their phone, you see devils on their phone, right?
Nobody says nothing.
Yeah, nobody say nothing, but you get on yours.
Listen,
all of a sudden,
when them niggas be on their phone,
I
I never say anything. When them niggas be on their phone, I never say anything. Every time I walk into the goddamn garage, I see a nigga linked over the table like this on their phone. Straight on their phone, just like that. You know what I'm saying? I never say anything. But here's what I told the Christian about the snitching. He talked about Black Lives Matter. Why don't, you know what I'm saying? Black people telling other black people. I told him like this. Have you ever seen a show called First 48?
Exactly. It's not white people telling.
It's not.
Right.
It's not. Listen, them cops will never, ever, ever, ever solve a crime if it wasn't for niggas.
Right. Exactly.
Them niggas is calling, or you have disguised my voice, I don't want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they is on there snitching.
Right.
They is on there telling every goddamn thing.
Right.
Black people do tell. We listen, we some snitching ass niggas. So
right. Look at all the drug ring documentaries you see on YouTube.
It's all about,
like that. Yeah,
it's always, they got the snitch face blurred out. He's like, I went in there and bought crack from them niggas.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This chicken wings too far.
What we did, we hit him together. We was in the car.
Right.
Little May was in the back seat.
Yeah, and Lil Craig was with him.
Right.
And he's the one that had the gun.
Right. And he pulled the gun out. And
Lil May had the bullets.
Right. As we was at the red light, he popped 3 in the back of his head.
I didn't know he was going to do anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what he's saying don't have any validation behind it.
You know, I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, people make dumb arguments. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of arguments that don't even make any sense. It's not based on true stuff.
Right.
We snitch all the time.
Right. And exactly. And that's funny though, because the man doesn't, but he will snitch on your black ass.
Yeah, exactly.
He will give up Jermaine, but he's not giving up John.
Right. They only snitch when the chips is like way down.
Yeah, they ain't got no choice. They're gonna pull a Lance Armstrong.
Yeah,
I'll tell you who sold me the steroids if you let me keep a couple of my trophies.
Here's the thing. When they snitch, like say for instance, when Sammy the Bull Gravano snitched on John Gotti.
Yeah, it was for his own protection.
Right, because he trusted John Gotti and everything too. And it was a power thing because he was getting too rich off the ecstasy that he was selling down in Florida. It was
like Henry Hill. If you ever seen the movie Goodfellas, the reason he snitched is because he knew he was up next to die.
Right.
Exactly. He knew that they was about to kill him.
Yeah, he heard the recorded conversations, all of that. He was like, damn.
Yeah, they about to kill me.
Yeah.
Let me spill the beans.
Yeah, so it took all of that. The chips was way down.
Right. Other than that, they don't spill the beans just because.
Right.
Niggas hate niggas. You know what I'm saying? And there's a scripture about that. That if a brother flees, you ain't supposed to give. That if he escapes the slave master,
you're supposed to take in.
Yeah, you're supposed to take him in.
Escape,
right. You ain't supposed to give him up.
Right. Exactly.
Listen, man. Like what we don't understand is that we got to give a brother a chance to repent. We got to give a brother a chance to repent and make amends for the evil that brothers do. Because it don't make no sense that we can give the white man a chance to repent and make amends for the evil that he does, even though he never repents, even though he never makes amends, even though he never apologizes, even though he never changes anything about his ways. We still give him chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. We've been giving him a chance for the last 400 plus years.
Right.
We will not give a nigga a second chance. That nigga beat me out of $2. I will not loan him 50 cents ever again in life.
Right. A lot of
it's 10 years later. We just smoked 1,000 blunts together since then, and you asked me for 25 cents, and I bring in some shit from middle school. Remember that time in the 6th grade when I loaned you them $3?
Yeah.
You never paid me back.
Right. A lot of times, we'd be ready to go upside his head to prove a point.
Listen, oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Owe me something if you want to.
That.
Owe me something if you want to. You hear me?
Right.
We arch nemesis now. You know what I'm saying? We arch nemesis.
Right. You know.
Let me get the scripture. So
go ahead. Go ahead. Stuff to somebody, over a little petty little thing just because they so-called want to prove a point.
Listen, I've witnessed it too, man. And listen, I think the Most High that I wouldn't really, I ain't gonna say I wasn't petty, but I wasn't that petty. You get what I'm saying? I've done some petty things, but it wasn't over money. I don't think I did anything petty over money. You get what I'm saying? Or that petty over money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, man, I had $600 come up missing off my TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm poor. $600 is a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the funny part is I had all my niggas over there, right? So then everybody tried to blame it on one of my, like, it was him. He got the reputation for being a thief. It had to be him. And I'm like, nah. I said, nah. I don't give a damn what his reputation is. I'm not going to say it was him. I said, for all I know, that was the main reason that one of y'all did it. Because y'all know his reputation is messed up. Right. And y'all use that for a cover.
They probably wanted him there on purpose.
Right. They used that for cover to make it seem like it was him.
Right.
I said, no, I ain't gonna just blame him. You know what I'm saying? I got love for all of y'all, man. I said, it's $600. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sad to see that our relationship was worth $600 to you. You know what I'm saying? But I told him like this. I said, whoever took that money, like, I was wicked in the world. I told him, I said, look, man, I'm gonna just pretend it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But I said, but if I ever find out who took that money, I'm beating you up. I'm beating you clean up. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I meant what I said at the time. You know what I'm saying? Listen, no, nothing ever got said again about it. I never found out who took it. If I'd have found out who took it, I would have beat him up. I wouldn't have beat him to death or nothing, but I would have bruised him up pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it wasn't about the money. It's about the principles. Like you didn't have no reason to steal from me. I was making sure my whole team ate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I made sure everybody ate. I never, whatever, we was in the world. Whatever I'm getting anything for, I'm giving it to you for the same price. If you can't get your cell phone, I'm going to put you on. And you don't pay me back the whole thing. You pay me back half. And you pay me back when you get it. I don't give you a deadline. I'm like, no, you owe me this in 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying? Nigga, you owe me. Just don't forget you owe me. Pay me in little bits, pay me in increments, pay me in lump sums. I don't care. Just pay me. But I never, ever, you know what I'm saying? I never made sure always make sure my teammate, I never cut anybody out the pot. I never cut anybody out the loop. Only way they got cut out is if they did something that was unforgivable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't betray the whole squad.
Right.
You can't betray the inner circle. Like we've watched enough gangster movies to figure out the way the empire crumbles is from the inside. It never crumbles from the outside. It always crumbles from the inside. So anybody that betrayed anything on the inside, they get cut off. Because if you do it now, you do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like loyalty was very key, man. And what we gotta understand, and I use that to equate it to what this class is about the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians being the chosen people of the Most High. The reason why we are the chosen people of the Most High, the reason why we the ones that the covenant pertains to, is out of loyalty. It's out of the loyalty that the Most High has for us. And like I was just speaking about empires crumbling from the inside, the same thing with us. The reason why we suffer up under the curses is because this shit crumbles from the inside. Because we want to follow everything that everybody else is doing, and it takes somebody that's on the inside of us, like our black leaders, to manipulate the rest of the mass into being wicked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Into being wicked, into not following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man. And that's what it's about, man. Like this covenant, we don't understand, man. Like this covenant is the most gangster thing that you could ever have in life, man. When it comes to this covenant, how should I quit this? All right, we didn't all see mafia movies, right?
Right.
But this covenant is like if you're watching a mafia movie and they become a made man, that's what this covenant is.
Right.
You're a made man with this covenant. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can touch you. You get what I'm saying? Anybody touches you get put to death. You get what I'm saying? You know why they never touched the wise guys? Because it was an automatic death sentence.
Right.
When you get this covenant, when you know what I'm saying, we up under this covenant, if you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, the Lord said, your enemies become his. I will make thy enemies my enemies. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord said. You follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and follow this covenant, man, your enemies will be the Most High's enemies. And let me ask you something. Who can defeat the Most High? Nobody, man. They've been trying. Nobody can defeat them. That's why they got Star Wars programs and spaceships and go ahead.
And if I will, that's the reason why they take their anger out on us.
Right.
Because they can't do nothing to him. So
Right.
they're pissed off and mad. You know what I'm saying? They can't do nothing against the armies of heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they get mad and they take their fury out on us.
And the devil knows who we are, man.
Right.
It was one post on Facebook going around. The goddamn devil had a sign said, "When Jesus Christ shows up, kill him again."
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's what the sign said. It said, "When Jesus Christ comes back, kill him again." That's what the goddamn devil had.
You know what? The Lord is allowing them. Check this out, though. The Lord is allowing them to get this super technology and all of that.
So he can beat their head in.
Yeah, so where they can think. Have you seen the Disney robot? Oh, man. It's a Disney robot. And he can, like, you know how, like, them people, well, what do they call them? The people that be, like, on the circus?
Right.
That be, like, high flying and all of that?
The acrobats?
Yeah, the acrobatic people and all of that. They got robots that can do that now.
Wow.
It's a Disney feature. And he's cold. He's flipping and, you know what I'm saying? That's dead serious. He's high in the air, flipping, you know what I'm saying? And all of that. He's a robot. It's a robot.
I got to see that shit.
But dead serious. I want to see if I can pull it up. So the Most High now just imagine this, because you know the white man, whatever.
That's for their entertainment. Yeah. So imagine what they got as military weapons.
Right.
It's a weapon to try to fight against the Most High.
I'm gonna try and look it up right quick.
Listen, man, I already know how the white man operates. Listen, anything that you ever seen in a movie, he's already done. He's already tried it. Like these goddamn video games. Like it's a video game called Halo for my Xbox users. You know what I'm saying? Halo is that game. But one thing about that game is this. Like when you look at the weapons on there and this and that, plus this scoop, like these weapons that they have on there, you better believe that the white man has already created those weapons and tried those weapons and this and that, blood and scoop. Like they got heat-seeking missiles on that weapon, like heat-seeking bullets and all that. Like once you hit your target once, the rest of the bullets will just follow your target. We've seen the weapon, the army shows on the History Channel where they got weapons that automatic fire to the same spot the first weapon went to, the first bullet went to.
Right.
We know they have this technology, man. My thing is this: they're not making that technology for us.
Right.
They drop a couple of bombs, we messed up.
Right.
So who is they making them weapons for?
Exactly.
They making them weapons to kill the angels.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They making them weapons to kill the angels. That's why when you watch these movies and stuff, like there's a movie called Legion, man. It was one of my favorite movies, where they was trying to fight against the angels and stuff, fight against the Most High and all this and that. Like you should see the stuff that they be coming up with. So the Most High was sending like angels down there to possess the bodies of people and stuff. Gave people some crazy powers and stuff.
There we go. That's a robot.
That's crazy. Yeah, the white man is the goddamn devil. You know what I'm saying? And now just imagine when he in the air like that. That's what he gonna be doing. Trying to shoot shit out the air. You know what I'm saying? But the white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of, man. One thing that he is focused on is destroying all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That has always been his mission. He will never change. I'm about to read the scripture real quick because I know I'll be getting sidetracked and don't be reading enough scripture. This is John 4:22. Now this is what Christ said. You get what I'm saying? These is the words of Christ himself. It says, John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is for the Jews. Now, this is funny though, because when a lot of people hear the word salvation, I don't think they really understand the concept of salvation. They don't understand the concept of salvation. Who needs salvation? When you really think about it in the concept of what it's meant to be in, salvation is saving somebody from something, right?
Right.
That's what it is. Salvation is to save somebody from something. Who needs to be saved from something? It's the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. What do we need to be saved from? We need to be saved from being wiped off the face of planet Earth.
Right.
That's what we need to be saved from. Go ahead.
Well, also too, salvation also is talking about rulership on the earth. Not only are you being, saved from something, but then you also being put on the top of everybody.
Right.
When you go into Psalms 8 to 18th chapter, when King David gave a super good breakdown of what salvation actually is.
Right. Listen, you're absolutely right. And it's once more, there's only one group of people who need to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Who needs the rulership? Who needs all of that, man? And that is just the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Like I said, we dying at the same rate as the white man. You get what I'm saying? But we only 17% of the population. They're over 70%.
Right.
The numbers don't add up. If anybody else was to suffer under these same afflictions that we suffered under, it would be wiped out. In fact, the proof is in the pudding. When the so-called Jewish man was suffering up under this affliction, and listen, he didn't suffer nowhere near as long as we had.
Right.
What was it, like 4 or 5 years for him?
Yeah,
it
something like that.
It wasn't even no goddamn 10 years. World War II was not long at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it didn't even start out for them. This stuff started out in 1933, but it didn't go into full swing until you get 1940, something like that.
Right.
In the 1940s, that's when it started going full swing, and it was like a few years of that.
Listen, it ain't too bad, but it wasn't too bad and wasn't too long, because there's still so-called Holocaust survivors to this day.
Oh yeah.
They're like 92 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
they're still locking up Nazis.
Yeah, right.
You know, well, a lot of them probably just died off.
Yeah,
now,
but get caught if you want to. Get caught if you want to if you're a Nazi.
Right.
Your ass is going to jail, getting put to death.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Straight up. Why aren't we doing the same with the slave masters that enslaved us?
Exactly. You know, why is that?
That hung us, that castrated us. Like
Right.
we got the pictures all over the goddamn walls of black people being hung. Why ain't nobody did the research to find who these people are?
Right.
I'm pretty sure that most of them still alive. These is pictures taken in the 60s.
Right.
These is pictures from the 50s and 60s.
Right.
40 at latest. We can find these people still. They're still alive.
Yeah.
Them racists never went away. Them racists had more kids and taught them to be racist.
Right.
There's a clip going around now of some devil, some sheep. She got the Confederate flag, talking crazy, talking about I'm gonna teach my kids to hate you. Listen, that's exactly what they listen. They mean that.
Yeah.
They gonna teach their kids to hate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Mm-hmm.
This bitch said she didn't know what the Confederate flag means. This bitch had the Confederate flag, hollering KKK. GEN.YAHANNA brought it out, man, in the class, man. Like, man, these devils is just the worst of the worst, man.
Right.
It's just the worst of the worst. And you want to love these people and try to bring these people in on your salvation, on your covenant, on everything that belongs to you.
Yeah.
When we just read that salvation is just for the Jews. She knows she's not a goddamn Jew. That's why she's hollering white power.
That's false compassion. We be thinking we being so compassionate with that. That's false. We say stuff like it because it feels good to try to save Master's house. You know, even in slavery.
Right.
It felt good to try to save Master's house. It was a good feeling, a good emotional feeling for the, choice slaves to do that.
Right.
Thing about it though, the house Negroes is more numerous now than they was back then.
Right.
Way more numerous.
I'm about to pull Isaiah.
Okay.
Isaiah 1 and 3. Isaiah 1 and 3. And this is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. This is for you goddamn Christians that want to keep trying to love everybody, man. Listen to this scripture, man. I want the scripture to sink in. Let's get it. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know. My people doeth not consider. You know what he's saying on this one? He's saying that you don't consider the fact of the matter that the Most High is here for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians only.
Right.
He's here to save you. He's here to give you everything that you want and need in order to be a mighty and great nation. You don't consider that. You don't consider the fact that we suffering is because we refuse to serve the Most High. You know one thing that you don't consider? This is one thing that Christians never, ever, ever consider. That the white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of. Christians never consider that.
Right.
You never consider that the white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of. That is not even a consideration. And once more, when I say devil, I don't mean a man with a pitchfork. I mean a liar and a deceiver. Who has lied more than a white man? Who has deceived more than a white man? Who has murdered more than a white man? Who has pillaged more than a white man? Who has raped more than a white man? Who has taken the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians more than a white man? Even to this day, even now in 2020, he still continues to murder blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Like that's one thing that's never going out of fashion with him, is the murder of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We's going to continue to do this until the Most High Christ returns and puts him in chains and bondage and put him to death, man. We do not consider the works of the Most High, man, that this covenant is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You don't want to consider it is because you don't want to consider life without the oppressor. How can you get, listen, in a Christian mindset, there is no way that we can ever function without white supremacy. Can you imagine cutting on your TV? Like this is how the Christian convinces other Christians. He says shit like this. Can you imagine cutting on your TV and not seeing any white people on the TV?
Right.
Like TV wouldn't be worth watching to a Christian.
Right.
Can you imagine cutting on the TV and not seeing any white people on the TV? Like life wouldn't be living to a Christian. And TV wouldn't be worth watching. To not be able to spend their money with the white man. Like, what's the point of having money if you can't spend the white man? This is the mindset of a Christian.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, me and my family, man, we ended up taking a little family trip, man. We went to a beach, right? We went to a spot on the outskirts of Indiana. Then we ended up going to Chicago, but we went to this beach on the outskirts, right? We went to the beach, man. And let me tell you something, man. These devils is living deliciously. It was all type of rules and regulations at the beach, right? So the beach had signs that like said no smoking, right? Every goddamn devil had a cigarette. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
The beach had a sign that says no dogs, right? Every goddamn devil had a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The beach had a sign that said, I don't know, what else did it say? It said no smoking, they were smoking. It said no dogs, they had dogs. Like, no alcohol, right? Like my dumb ass, I seen the sign that said no alcohol. I'm like, well, let me leave my little bottle in the car. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I get there, every devil had a can of beer. Every devil had a shot of liquor.
Right.
Like I felt like an asshole. And I was like, I could have brought the dog and my bottle. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, cause they are like, and here's the funny part. You know the reason why the beach said no smoking, but every devil was smoking? You know the reason why the beach said no dogs, but every devil brought their goddamn dog? You know the reason why the beach said no liquor, but every devil brought their goddamn liquor? It's because the white man refuses to do anything that makes him feel oppressed.
Right. Right.
Like telling him what to do, listen, tell the devil what to do if you want to. Devils can't even tell other devils what to do. That's why they're always fighting for power.
Exactly.
That's why they're always fighting for rulership.
Yeah, that's why
when you look at
Tea Party.
Right.
All of that.
Even before that, like when you look at the European kingdoms, that's why they were always wars. Right. The Vikings, that's why it was always wars.
Right.
Like you name the Romans, that's why there were always wars.
Right.
The Greeks, that's why there was always wars. Because an oppressor hates being told what to do. Why does the white man fight against the Most High? Because the white man hates being told what to do.
Right.
That's simple.
Right.
You can't tell me what to do. Like you gotta trick the devil. If you don't want him to do something, you gotta tell him he can do it, and then he won't do it. Right. You know what I'm saying? We need to start telling him, look, just kill black people. Then he'll stop because he'll feel like you're giving him an order. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he's going to do everything totally against what you say different. So you saying Black Lives Matter, stop killing us? Guess what he did? He started killing us more. Right. Since George Floyd, I've seen so many brothers die. Right. Like, and then it's like since they told the cops, stop choking niggas out and putting your knee on your neck, they start doing it even more. Oh, you know what? Since you brought that up. Go ahead. You know, there's supposed to be a whole bunch of cops that are resigning because they can't choke black people out. That goes to show you the spirit of America. I was actually saving that for my take ground breakdown this week. I'm going to go into that. I got the video on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do a take ground breakdown on that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're absolutely right. You told them, hey, stop killing niggas. You can't choke them out. They said, well, hey, if I can't choke a nigga out, how the hell am I supposed to do my job? I can't do my job. I can't choke a nigga out. There go my cuffs. Right. Like they all stood in the line and threw their handcuffs down, like in their badges. They were serious. Right. Go ahead. You know why? Because in their spirit, they know not killing a nigga is wrong. Not killing a nigga. Not killing a nigga is wrong. Not killing a nigga is wrong, but not killing a nigga is wrong. Right. They go back to their roots. The reason why the police department was started in the first place. Slave catchers. Yeah. Slave catchers. That was their lot. That was their, so that they wouldn't be like what General Muhammad was saying,
so that they wouldn't be Billy the Kid or
psychopathic homicidal killers.
Or
instead of killing
robbers,
50
all
niggas
of
a
that.
day, they could kill 2-3 niggas a year, and that will
Right.
curb their bloodlust.
Right.
But without them not being able to kill 2-3 niggas a year, they will kill 20 niggas a year,
Right.
50 niggas a year. Now all of a sudden we got Las Vegas shooters again.
Right.
This time it won't be a rock music concert, a country music concert. This time it'll be a 2 Chainz concert. You hear what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Be a Jay-Z concert,
Right.
or whoever niggas listen to nowadays. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Right. Right. Right.
He's so much of a snitch. He probably be working with the devil. I'm gonna set the stage up where you need to. Where's the best angle for you to shoot these niggas?
Oh yeah, this shit. Celebrities, you can't never trust nothing that come out of them. Oh yeah, they all stepping forth now. Only these celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Cool J. Whenever he ever talked about anything concerning black people.
Listen, man. I'll be looking at that stuff, man, and I just be thinking in my head, like, who gives a damn about what they say? One
Right.
thing I did see, man, you know what I'm saying? I seen people trying to shit on Dave Chappelle, you know what I'm saying? Because he's married to a heathen wife and all that. But to tell you the truth, Dave Chappelle got more love for black people than the niggas who actually married to black sisters do. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's married to it, even though he's married to that heathen, he's always spoken these kind of things, man. Always.
Yeah,
always.
You're right about that.
Always. You know what I'm saying? And he always speaks when it's time to speak. And somehow that brother knows when it's time to shut the hell up, he shuts the hell up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He knows when to get the hell up out the way. Like I was watching something that he had said, it's called like 846. I didn't finish it. But he was like, the reason they was like, why ain't you saying that? He was like, because what the hell do I look like saying something? He was like, I'm not a leader. He's like, and celebrities ain't leaders. He said, for you to look for a celebrity to be a leader is basically stupidity on your part. That's what Dave Chappelle said.
Stuff right there.
That's what Dave Chappelle said. He's like, I know to shut the hell up. He said, what am I gonna say? He said the people are speaking from themselves. That's why they tearing the cities up. They speaking. It's up to you if you hear them or not. But they speaking. There's nothing that I can say. What am I gonna tell them? Not to do it?
Right.
I mean, why would you tell them that? There you go. Like I'll tell you who did tell him that coon ass Killer Mike. I cannot stand that nigga, man. He's an Atlanta rapper. He's with a group called Run the Jewels with a Devil. I used to listen to him when I was in the world, you know what I'm saying? I knew who Killer Mike was before his group, you know what I'm saying? Because he did a couple of songs with Outkast, and I used to mess with Outkast heavy, you know what I'm saying? So I knew who Killer Mike was, and then I found out about his group with the little white boy named Run the Jewels later on. I'm guessing he's a white boy, you know what I'm saying? He might, I doubt if he's a nigga. Even though white people, they got this crazy skill set that they can portray a nigga very well.
Yeah. I mean, they learned that over time.
Yeah. Like they have the whole spirit of a nigga, move like a nigga, talk like a nigga, right. And you know what I'm saying? And we don't go according to skin color, we go according to blood. So we definitely, I gotta check that devil background. Maybe he is a nigga, but I doubt it. I doubt if he's a nigga. I think he's a devil.
Not be.
I want him to be Israel, but I don't think he is. And I don't think he is because of how Killer Mike is. Killer Mike is King Coon. You know what I'm saying? Like T.I., I seen a little clip. I didn't even watch the whole clip. But T.I. was talking to Candace Owens, right? And she was saying something. And she was like, you didn't even let me finish. He was like, the reason I let you finish is because you started off with some straight bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he was on her head. And here come Killer Mike. We got to let our black queen talk. We got to let her finish. What she's saying is heavy. And the only thing she's doing is blaming black people for black problems. Like, it's amazing.
Heavy shit,
yeah. Like it's amazing how you can always blame black people for black problems. Like, you blame black people for drugs and stuff like that. So if you're so educated and you know the science behind every goddamn thing, then why come you don't know the white man's influence on these things?
Right, exactly. They don't want to touch that.
I mean, you know why Candace Owens, though? She's married to a devil.
Yeah.
That devil told her to shut her nigger mouth and keep having slave sex. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Skull, freaking her. You get what I really want to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Only time she speak on anything in the household is with his rod in her mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And she's a goddamn sellout, man. Like, man, listen. I know we supposed to forget them people, man. I know we supposed to. I know also the brothers will always be on my head because it be people like her and TD Jakes and them people. Like them be the people that I just listen. I want to put them to death. You know what I'm saying?
People, a lot of the times they come in to infiltrate.
That's what my thing is.
That's what it is.
That's what my thing is. Like I just couldn't imagine letting Candace Owens enter the kingdom. On the land of Oz, I will put that bitch to death. There is no listen. I will just face the judgment, man. I couldn't imagine letting her walk around free, meets me passing judgment on devils and her. No, don't do it. Like trying to start a revolt and shit. Like I'm gonna have to kill her.
Right, sisters is married to devils and everything. Let me tell you what's gonna have to happen.
TD Jakes on my plantation talk about God love everybody. Like, I'm not going for that.
Well, check this out. You know, that's married to devils and everything. They're gonna have to be separated from the devils, and they're gonna have to go into widowhood because ain't no other nigga gonna marry.
Listen, man. From all I know, they can be put to death with them devils and be born in the kingdom with the right spirit.
Now, here's the thing. With that, it'll be a worse punishment for them because they will be able to live. They would have to live in widowhood with no husband at all. That's the kicker right there.
Well, I guess with that being said, I guess I still get what I want at the end because a bitch like Candace Owens, she gonna end up trying to be a whore and sell some coochie,
she's not gonna
which will give me the right to put her to death.
She ain't gonna be selling no. Yeah, some of them probably try that, but she ain't. They just gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? Remember when you go into Isaiah when it talks about her being desolate, shall sit up on the ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Think about that for a second.
Right.
Her being desolate.
Yeah, have to sit there and just be sorrowful the rest of her days.
Yeah, that's how it have to be.
Yeah, listen.
And she's not gonna have nothing to depend on but the Most High because for one thing, ain't no brothers gonna be marrying these women. Well, once we get into our right state, we gonna get the choice of women. We get the garbage now. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? We get the women. They got, you know what I'm saying, all of this stuff, all of this baggage. You know, we get a woman 35, she got 25 bodies on her. We get that now.
Shit, listen, more than that.
Yeah, I'm just being modest.
Listen,
you know
listen. You ever ask a chick how many people she sleep with and she give you the actual number? You gotta times that by 5.
Yes.
You know
what will she say?
She'll be
say
like
4 or 5.
Nah,
she'll say that.
Yeah, some of them will try to sneak in 4 or 5. But I done had some chicks tell me like they just slept with like 12 dudes, 13 dudes. In my head, I'm like, bitch, she's lying. You just slept with more than 12 dudes. That 12 dudes was at one time, bitch, in your gangbang. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I really be thinking.
Yeah, that was one night.
Yeah, that was in one night. You know what I'm saying? So when she say 12 dudes, I'm like, okay, she'd have been like 36 niggas. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way I look at things too.
Like, and it's sad to say,
the kingdom,
but it's the truth.
In the kingdom, it's not going to be like that. We're the trash now. I'm just keeping it real.
I agree with you.
Right now, we're the damn garbage right now.
Listen,
black man is garbage now.
I agree with you. Like I said, in order to get a woman, and I know we got off subject, but like a woman wants you to have the number 1, number 2, number 3 headband. You know what I'm saying? All 7 Dragon Balls, a genie lamp.
Right,
you know
exactly.
You got to be the fist of the North Star.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Super Saiyan God.
Right. And you got to have the knife from, what was that, the movie with Eddie Murphy back in the day?
I can't think.
Oh, golly, I forgot what the name of it. When he was in Tibet.
The Golden Child?
Yeah. You got to have the Golden Child thing. You got to have that.
Right.
You got to have all of that.
You know what I'm saying? Be king of Wakanda. Like these, listen, no kids.
Right.
The whole time, only thing she got to offer is some box with more miles than a goddamn 1998 Chevy Caprice.
Right.
You know
or 18-wheeler. More miles than an 18-wheeler this bad boy to travel all around the country.
Fucking kids.
Right.
Multiple baby daddies.
Right.
A bunch of emotional baggage.
Right. Multiple sex partners. The ones that she didn't even have kids with.
Right, she still got on all the traits of all her sex partners. Right. She got all their personalities.
Oh yeah, she got all
all them that came at her. Like this is the baggage we got to deal with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You done took on all of their value systems,
And before you got with her, she was just on Instagram talking about black man ain't shit.
Right. And you wonder why
there's no more good black man left.
And you wonder why this woman is psychologically spinning around like the witch from the Wizard of Oz, and she, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just devoured into the ground and everything. Right. You wonder why she like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Listen, and what we don't even realize though, man, is that a lot of these women that were just like that really have destroyed black men.
Yes.
Black men who was actually
one
black men who were actually once strong. You get what I'm saying? They were strong and real lions, man.
Right.
And they let they love for that woman, trying to prove they love to this woman, really destroy them, man.
Right.
Listen, that's why I think the Most High Christ, man. I was almost one of them niggas who got destroyed by a bitch like that. You know what I'm saying?
Buddies and
you know what I'm saying?
Even blown away by
lost all my self-worth.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Brothers that have been killed, you know what I'm saying, behind their own woman.
Right.
The brothers that have been killed behind their own woman unawarely, that they didn't even know, you know what I'm saying, that the beef was that heavy.
Right.
You know.
She out being a whore.
Right. I had a buddy named Roy. You know, he was my he was actually kin to my, you know, one of my nephews and everything. Right. But I knew Roy before my nephew was born and everything, right? All right, check this out. Him and his girl they stayed in an apartment complex.
Right.
And, you know, she was flirting with this guy in the apartment complex. Her and Roy ended up getting into it. And Roy ended up, you know what I'm saying, she put Roy out. You know, Roy left, went somewhere else. Probably with another broad or whatever. When I seen him, he was working at the McDonald's, you know, out where Hamakaba used to live at.
Right.
He was working there. And I seen him and everything, you know what I'm saying, him and my buddy Courtney. But anyway, they ended up getting back together.
Right.
You know, so he goes back to her and everything. And of course, pipes
Which
down.
is something that black men are famous for.
Right.
Like, a woman will leave us for another man, be with this man probably about a good month before that man can't deal with her shit.
Right.
And so she get rid of him and call you right back, and we run right back like filth.
And a lot of times she just wants some strange broad.
Right.
That's a lot of times too.
Right.
You know, that's what it is.
And the killer part is that we so goddamn weak and so goddamn destroyed and don't know our own self-worth, that we run right back. Right back. After you know this bitch has just been with another man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, the thing about
and we just love her so much that we throw away all our self-worth to be with her.
Right. And it cost Roy his life.
And usually do.
You know, Roy, Roy was in there with her. Now, dude is still living in the same apartment complex, in the same apartment. He gets pissed, you know, because she broke it off with him because she knew Roy was coming back. Right. So she clipped it with him. Quick, that's what they do too.
Right.
She totally cut off all of her feelings towards him, but he still had feelings towards her. Right? Now, Roy is in there. Dude comes through, and he has a 44 Magnum revolver. Right?
He hit him with the big boy.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that fucking deep.
Yeah. That's what he did. He came out with that 44 Magnum. He knocked on the door, and he didn't give a damn who looked through the peephole.
He just heard, "Who is it?"
Right. Boom, yeah, that was that. He killed the hell out of Roy. And Roy was such a good dude, man. He was such a cool guy. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, I could tell you 1,000 stories like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, one specifically that hit home with me. You know what I'm saying? With my mother and one of her exes. Like she used to date. And the reason I know this story is because I ended up fighting his sons by another woman. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 sons. And I ended up beating up the younger brother first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they both was into fighting. Like one of them took karate, the other took boxing. The younger brother took karate. That's the one I completely destroyed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The one that took boxing was the one. That's the fight I was telling you about where I threw the first punch, and that's the only punch I remember connected with.
Right.
After that, everything else was just him just bit. Just like I could see the punches coming towards me. I just couldn't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like he beat my ass from sun up to sundown. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he didn't knock me out, you know? Like, I just remember him just, every punch he threw connected. I could do absolutely nothing with him. I got beat up pretty bad that day. And after that, I went home and told my mama, like, look, I want to get in boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that dude just completely, like, it was one-sided. I threw the first punch, and I was just so used to knocking niggas out with one blow. Like, when he didn't drop, I was like, wait, I didn't know what to do after that. Because I was just used to the one-hitter quick. Boom! Fight's over, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
After that, they drop, I hop on them, crucify them, pound their face in, move on. Like, I hit that cat, he stumbled, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to follow up. I didn't know about combos or none of that. I was just a one-trick pony. Brute force, everything in this punch, in the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He ate that mug. You know what I'm saying? He ate it. You know, I didn't know nothing about rolling with punches or none of that. That nigga rolled with my punch as I caught him. Boom! So he didn't get the full impact. He ate it. After that, everything else was his fist in my face. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do nothing about it. I still stayed and fought. It was the best fight I knew how to fight. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get close enough to grab him. He was big, 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 big. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keeping me off of him with the grabs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't slam him. I couldn't get him. He just bruised me up. I told my mama, like, I want a box. She was like, who whooped your ass like this? I told her, and coming to find out, it was her ex, you know, her ex that she used to talk to.
Right.
It was his kids, you know what I'm saying? He ended up dying because of a woman, of course. You know what I'm saying? The woman was messing with him and another dude. The other dude ended up getting mad at her, slapped her up. He came over there trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and the nigga stabbed him to death. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that was his woman.
Yeah, I guess that was everybody's woman, I guess.
He probably looked at that as something as his. That's why, man.
Yeah, that's why he went over there.
Yeah.
But both of them looked at him as his, because she was being a whore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And but he had two sons, so he left two sons out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? That's how I ended up running across them and stuff through a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got all this pent up aggression because they ain't got no father. You know what I'm saying? Their father dead. I got all this pent up aggression because I ain't got no father. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? More than my father is, and that's what happens when you destroy it out here. You fight each other because you don't know what else to do.
Right, exactly.
You don't know who the real enemy is, man.
We got oppression just on all levels like that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But after I found out who they was and stuff, we got cool. You know what I'm saying? We got cool. I didn't hold no ill will towards him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though he kicked my ass like that, I didn't hate the brother. You know what I'm saying? I just take that as an opportunity is to learn how to fight better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I said, damn, he dominated me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been knocked out, but I'd have been beat up a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? But that comes with the territory. Like, when our generation, we was fighters. We was fighting every day. We would fight one day, and the next day be outside playing together. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? We was oppressed. We didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
We knew to fight, but then we knew to forgive our brothers. That's one thing that we did do. We forgave each other when we was kids. Nowadays, you don't get that with these kids. These kids, you fight one day, the next day, one of them coming back with a gun to kill you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They hate you.
You know, which also too, to be honest with you, like they say, a trickle starts a flood.
Right.
The physical things that we did back in the day, it actually was a precursor to us blowing each other away.
Right.
Because I remember a time like in Louisville and everything, like back in the 80s, people would,
So, like, you real quick, if I could, I'm about to end the class. I didn't realize it was this late. We the I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West, 125th Street, on New York, under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Understand, pay your tithes, ISUPK.com. You understand? Support this truth. Salakia, I thank everybody for rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Right here, man. I'll drop here, man. You know how we get when we get in this class. We get to talking. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do better making sure I bring out more precepts for y'all to help build your precept book. I had a bunch of them, just didn't get into them. Got caught up talking once more. I.S.U.P.K. under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, 1 West, 125th Street. Shalom. Let me kill this camera. Okay. caught up talking, man. Lose track of time. Yeah, we gotta get better at that.